Good morning and Happy New Year, everybody. It's 7 a.m. on Monday, January 3rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see clear skies with a high of 49. Coming up on OTB, we kick off your day with some headlines, and we had the latest edition of Weekend Winners coming up at 8 a.m. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. You can also check us out on YourView. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome in to 2022. Happy New Year. Hope you had a wonderful one with you and yours. Whatever you did, hung out, partied, had a good time. Doesn't matter. Hope that you had a safe and a fun one. And today we will look to do the same. We will look to have a safe and fun show day, as there is a ton to break down. Of course, we are coming off of a 3-day weekend. We did not have work on Friday, meaning from Thursday until now, we have not yet to give you our observations and thoughts on the sporting world and the results therein, which means we will do that over the next 3 hours, which means this is going to be a very full show because, as you will see during headlines, there's a ton to talk about in every sport: college football, college basketball, the NFL. We're going to run the gamut today, boys and girls. Yes, girls. So, every wonderful female listeners out there as well.
That was like girls.
I was
and
going
Jake.
gentlemen.
I was
going to go gentlemen, okay. and then I switched it to girls, and it just, that didn't work out. But that's okay. That's okay. We're just you can't look. One snap and clear. Okay, we're moving on. About to dive into headlines, but first, let me welcome in my co-host to the new year, Jake. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good. A lot to get to. Obviously, like you mentioned, you missed one day around here. There's a lot to break down. Of course, CFP, NFL playoff picture, and all that stuff. And then the LSU boys going wild yesterday on a LSU-filled Sunday in the NFL. It was a lot of fun to watch as well.
Yeah, it was. And so let's and Mario, Danny, before we get into headlines, how was everybody's New Year's? All good?
It's an awesome New Year, man. Had a great time. Ready to ring in the New Year.
All right. What about you, D?
Feeling good after Saints win.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Hell yeah, there we go. Getting it done in the Dome. It looked like a good environment yesterday. Let's go ahead, though, and dive into your headlines.
Was a good environment.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys, for those who are born to grill. Visit bbqguys.com to learn more.
As the boys just alluded to behind the glass there, the New Orleans Saints get it done yesterday. They beat the Carolina Panthers 18-10. A bit of a rough start. First quarter, you give up 10 points, and after that, the defense said, nada, no more. Literally, as they did not give up a single point after that first frame. Cam Jordan leads the way with 3 sacks. How about it? Is that now? It's either 11 or 12 on the year. I'll get into my notes. We'll get into the next segment. But Cam Jordan continued to show that he remains dominant. And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on the final drive of the game comes with the sack and the pick to seal it. Just a great job by the Saints defense, as they have now set themselves up with the potential to make the playoffs.
Yeah, you gave yourself another opportunity. There was a lot of teams yesterday that got eliminated. You were not one of them. And so now you sit there at 8-8 with a chance. Obviously, you need some other things to go your way, but you have a chance. And with all the injuries and all the things that this team has had, with having no starting quarterback really worth being a starting quarterback in a very, very long time, you're still there. You're at 8-8. Yesterday's game was much like a lot of the season. It wasn't pretty. At times, it was tough to watch, but you are able to get a victory, and now you're 8-8 with an opportunity to get into the dance.
Yeah, we'll dive into it more in depth next segment. In LSU women's basketball news, you're saying, wow, what a full weekend. You go to LSU women's basketball segment. Well, yes, because they have been objectively great. When you look, they beat Georgia on the road last Thursday, right before we left. That was a big ranked matchup there. They were ranked behind Georgia. They got it done in Athens. Well, then they come back and they beat a Texas A&M team that was ranked 75-66. Alexis Morris, who used to play for A&M, went off for 30 points, 23 in the second half, and Caleb Pointer, almost another triple-double. She goes for 17, 9, and 8. One note about this game, Jake, A&M, number 1 in the country in three-point percentage coming into the game. The only team they've lost this year to Florida Gulf Coast. That was a three-point shooting team. That's how they ended up getting LSU. So a nice little, direct growth point to highlight right there. Look, the bottom line is that Coach Mulkey is the best coach on campus, and I'm not even sure that it's particularly close. I mean, the team that won one conference game last year now has 3 ranked victories this year and has won 13 in a row. It's wild.
No, they're doing it in an impressive fashion, too. This isn't luck. This is something that they are just beating the other team on the court. And what Coach Mulkey's been able to do this quickly, right? I mean, if she would have finished, and I know we have a long season to go, but if she would have finished even 500 or a couple of wins above 500, I think we all still would have walked away pretty impressed with that showing. And so now you're beating ranked teams. And the only loss that you have to is a good Florida Gulf Coast team that continues to win. They've only got 1 loss on the season. The team that you beat in Iowa State, they went off and they've got a couple of ranked wins under their belt. So they're not paper champions. It's highly impressive. It feels like every single game too, T-Bob, they get better and better. This is not the ceiling right now. They still can continue to get better.
Yeah, and they got a massive one coming up Thursday. We're going to be pumping it up all week. Want to see if we can get 10,000 people. 7,000 there on Sunday's game, but to see if we can get 10,000 Thursday night against number 1 South Carolina. Tip is set for 7 p.m. Fans are asked to wear white to the game. And if you're listening right now, you're a healthcare worker, first responder. First off, thank you for everything you do. But you can get $1 tickets to the game if that is you. So go ahead and check that out. Next up on the list, let's talk a little Joey B. Not the only time the Joey Burrow and the Bengals and Jamar Chase are going to be mentioned today. But congratulations to Joey B. and the Bengals. They win the AFC North. Make the playoffs for the first time since 2015. It's kind of crazy Marvin Lewis era was that long ago, right? Doesn't feel that long ago. But Burrow and Chase go off. I mean, Jamar Chase sets a Bengals single-game record, 266 receiving yards. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who have been the NFL's best team as of late. And now everybody's talking about, are they a true Super Bowl contender?
So that might have been the best game of the year. If anybody watched that game, the ebbs and flows, Cincinnati getting down early, it felt like, okay, here's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to be who they've been the last half of the season. And then Jamar Chase happened. And Jamar Chase had one of the most impressive highlights. We were talking about it before the show that you'll see in an NFL game, the way that he catches the ball and then just leaves other NFL athletes in the dust. Remember, a lot of people questioned Jamar's speed as he came into this season, said the 40 wasn't real at LSU. I think that play alone showed you that 40 was not only real, he might have been even faster than that. Okay?
Yeah, was it the first touchdown he scored, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah, the first touchdown. That play the jump back cut was very odd, combined with the acceleration where it looked like he was on a high school football field. That should never happen on an NFL field yet. Jamar Chase made it happen, and so did Joe Burrow as the Bengals win the AFC North. More on that later. Let's dive into some of the bowl games. There are a lot to get to. We're going to go Friday on it. I didn't put Thursdays on here. That felt long enough ago. But we'll start with the Sugar Bowl as Baylor beats Ole Miss 21-7. Matt Corral injured in the first quarter, so kind of a womp-womp sort of game all around there.
It was a hard game to watch. Offensive football was not at a premium in this contest. It was an ugly game. One of the best players in the country goes out, and of course that's going to spark up the debate if you should play in bowl games, if you should not, and we can have that conversation a little bit later. But the game overall, a game I was pretty excited about with Matt Corral going against Dave Aranda, and that defense didn't obviously get that opportunity.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, it would have been nice to see. In the Rose Bowl, now speaking of best games of the weekend, this would maybe even, this would be. I would say this is probably even crazier than Bengals and Chiefs on Sunday as Ohio State comes back from being 14 down pretty much the entire first half. They beat Utah 48-45. But how about this stat line? We mentioned Jamar Chase, Jackson Smith, and Jigba had 15 catches for 347 yards. 347. That is a bowl game record. CJ Stroud threw for, isn't bad either. 37-46, 573, and 6 tugs for Stroud.
Yeah, this was a hell of a football game, and Cam Rising getting injured, you felt awful for him. Now, the backup came in through a touchdown pass. He hadn't thrown a pass to that point. How about that? You go into the Rose Bowl against Ohio State, and you hadn't even had a career attempt. But he throws a touchdown, but you felt bad for Cam Rising. He played a hell of a game, too. I know we don't have his stats on here, but he was right there with what he was doing, running the football and throwing the ball. You're right. This game was so far the bowl game of the year. Utah deserves a lot of respect. They should have been in that spot. After a couple early season losses, they roll off a bunch of victories in a row. They had this game, but Ohio State's athletes at the end of the day were just too much for the Utes.
Yeah, that receiving core remains best in the country.
And you were missing 2 of them, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
You were missing 2 guys opted out. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 5 catches coming into the year. He had 3 touchdowns in the game. That shows you sorry.
No. Go ahead. Yeah, no. They have depth for days, dude, for sure. 347, man. In the Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma State 37, Notre Dame 35. It looked like the Irish are going to roll. They jump out to a 28-7 lead. It's actually the largest comeback in Oklahoma State history. Not just bowl history, but like the school has ever had. As they scored 30 unanswered. They went 37-35, and they spoil Marcus Freeman's debut.
Yeah, if he would have won this game, obviously there would have been a lot of cheer, a lot of people talking about what sets up for next year, and it's crazy what one loss can do for you. But Oklahoma State, in an offense that has not really done this all season long for the most part, they're a defensive football team, but they're able to come back after getting down 28-7. So now, if Notre Dame wins this game, they'd have been top 5 preseason just because it's Notre Dame. And so thank you, Oklahoma State. Thank you.
And the Citrus Bowl, Kentucky gets it done, beats Iowa 20-17. Of course, Iowa didn't have their center, Linderbaum, so
for one series. Look, he is a stud. He is one of the better players in the country. But my God, did they talk about him on the broadcast?
I actually didn't watch this one.
Oh my gosh! I don't know if I've ever heard of an offensive lineman get that much love.
No, well, I mean, look, every now and then there's one that gets a little traction, and, well, that's been Linderbaum this year. But Wando Robson takes over the game late, 86 yards on the game-winning drive alone. Nice finish of the season. Another great season for Soups coming over there, Kentucky. And then, speaking of great years, Sam Pittman finishes off a strong one. Arkansas beats 10 State 24-10. Won 9 games. It's the most since 2011 for the Hogs. It's more than they won in the past 3 years combined. And what a weird year it's been for James Franklin. Getting a raise, right? Getting all this interest in other jobs. And what does Penn State finish? 7-6?
Yep.
At the end of the day? And nothing particularly impressive. I don't really know. Like, if I'm a Penn State fan waking up today, I wonder how I feel about this the program. Right.
Not great. I mean, because you look at what they've done the last 2 years, and last year they finished with 4 victories in a row, but they were 4-4, and then this year 7-6. So you're 11-10.
Yeah, you saw how that goes here.
Yeah,
right. Like at LSU, when you go 2 years,
you don't get raises.
No. In the college football playoff, UGA beats Michigan 34-11. I mean, again, no surprise there. No, who's going to play power football with Georgia?
I was surprised.
I'm not acting like I know. It's just sometimes you think you know something, and sometimes you end up being dead wrong. This, to me, always felt like if you're going to you just can't beat Georgia going power to power. That they are just the best power team in the country, and I feel like that ended up bearing out.
Yeah, I was surprised by this one. When you watch Michigan, they had the feel that they could go power for power. Maybe not dominate by any means, but stay close enough to be able to go out there and win the game. I got to tip my cap to Georgia. Stetson Bennett, he went out there and played a hell of a game. This Georgia team got their swagger back. They got it back. Alabama took it. They got it back. Now they get another opportunity against Alabama.
Yeah, because Alabama beat Cincinnati 27-6. Do y'all know what the average margin of victory is in a semifinal game?
A lot to a little.
21.6.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's just 1-4s beating the crap. It's every seeding combination has an average margin of victory of double digits. I think we'll talk about it a bit more later, but it kind of begs the question, like, does college football even have enough parity to really support a playoff? In other words, done. But I mean, we'll get into it a bit later because ironically, the semifinals are always the least fun part of bowl season.
Well, and I think the part of the playoff, and I understand what you're saying because you're like, man, we can't even get a good semifinal. I think it's just like the Ohio State team that when you look at what happened against Michigan, but if they came in and they were a 7 or 8 seed and they could get hot, they can make a run. I think that's the intriguing part of it. But the semifinals, it's been bad since the inception of the CFP. Outside of what was it, Georgia, Oklahoma?
That was the only game that I could think of that was fun to watch. The Baker one. Yeah, I mean, I think that like if you expand it, yes, you will get great early playoff games. It does feel like you still though just have. And maybe this will not end up being true, but it just feels like you have these two teams that are always just just a tier above where everybody else is at. Unfortunately, it's normally Alabama as they're going to the national championship for the 9th time in 13 years, y'all. What sort of hellscape are we currently living in? What did any of us do to deserve this? Well, one guy who's going to look to try to change that will be Mike Denbrock. As he's Cincinnati's offensive coordinator. He was. Now he's officially been named LSU's offensive coordinator. So if he wants revenge for what he just suffered at the hands of the Tide, well, he's going to have his chance every single year. A solid hire. Not one I don't think that's going to, get people's blood pumping too much, but hey, at this point, like we said, we're freshly married. We got to trust our partner, and we all trust in the hiring capabilities and track record of Brian Kelly.
It's someone that's done it before. He's done it at different levels, obviously. And obviously last year we talked about two guys that had not done it on any level, right? And so, Durante did it at a lower level, but Jake Peets had not done it to that point. You look at the resume. He's been in coaching since 1986. He's had stops at Stanford, certainly Notre Dame, Washington, Cincinnati. So he's been at a couple of big places. It's something that is familiar to Brian Kelly. You know what I'm saying? So
and it's Brian Kelly's offense. Remember,
that part of it is intriguing to me because he knows him as well as anyone. So Brian Kelly knows what this job is, knows what the expectations are. So he went and got somebody he feels comfortable with.
Yeah, and finally, we're going to wrap up with a bit of somber news here. This kind of got lost in the Madden passing, but another giant of the NFL game did pass as well as former Falcons coach, Broncos coach. He's been in a lot of places, but Dan Reeves passed away.
Former player,
yeah, as well, for sure. So, thoughts and prayers with him and his family. All right, when we get back here on Off the Bench, let's dive deep into this New Orleans Saints game yesterday as they beat the Panthers. What does it mean going forward? Keep it locked, share it, like it with all your friends, whatever. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
If you were born to grill, you have to go to Barbecue Guys for all your grilling and outdoor living needs. With the largest selection of top grills and outdoor products and best-in-class customer service, Barbecue Guys has it all. Visit BDQGuys.com. That's BDQGuys.com. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org. Look, if you have any plumbing problems here in the new year, well, just do what you've done for the past 50 years, which is call Central Plumbing, and let them take care of whatever issues you have. It doesn't matter, small, complex, right? Leak, a burst pipe, just a toilet that won't flush, like whatever the case may be. Central Plumbing is there for you. Again, that number is 925-8552, licensed, bond insured. Best quality work, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, when you go to the website, you will see the full fleet. It's right there on the homepage. They are ready for whatever job that you might have. Remember, if it's at your place of business, nothing's going to be too big for them to handle, but certainly they can handle anything at your home as well. They've done it for me. They've done it for T-Bob as well. So when you go to centralplumbing.org, you can check out all that they offer, bathroom remodels, water heaters. The full fleet is right there, as we said, 225-925-8552 is that emergency number, but not only in emergencies, and centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
It all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Musso. On behalf of everyone on the AFR team, we wish you a happy and healthy new year. We're back on Monday, and so is Matt, recapping everything he missed while he was on vacation. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake Martin, Danny hanging out with you. It is now 2022. Hope you had a great one.
The show says 2021 on it.
Me and my neighbors, way to go, Danny. You're fired. Hey. Good job. Good catch.
Yeah.
Me and my neighbors enjoyed our yearly Wiccan festival of the burning of the Christmas trees. Got very fun, very fun. Also, they make poppers now. They make adult poppers. You know, like little things that you just pop in your fingers or throw on the ground. They snap.
Snappers. Yeah.
They make adult ones that are just little black cats. They're pretty loud. They're pretty cool, dude. They were. It was popping off.
So you went across the river and got some?
I don't know. I bummed out my neighbors. I was like bumming cigs out there. I was like, hey man, you got any more poppers? Give them to me.
Then you probably bummed a cig too.
Look, we don't need to get into details. But yes, it was quite the New Year's night. It was very fun.
So when you burn these Christmas trees, though, I mean, is it safe? Is it just wild? I mean.
We can put pictures up a bit later. I'll send them to the group. It's it can be a little borderline feeling at times. But like there's a hose out there and
good. It's a water hose.
Yeah, there's a water hose out there. It's like, you're all good.
That's stopped every fire.
Look, man, it's just like it's the symbol of rebirth, right?
Yeah,
down to the ashes, reborn from the new year, out with the old, in with the new, out with not making the playoffs, ends with hopefully making the playoffs after the Saints kept their hopes alive. Only one spot up for grabs left in the NFC. The Saints had to win if they wanted to still have a chance of getting that spot, and they did. And they get it done. They beat the Carolina Panthers 18-10. And as Jake alluded to, it was not always the most fun game to watch. Like, what a dirty, ridiculous, blue-collar style the Saints are playing football with this year. I mean, it is. It feels like watching a bum fights video. It's like just a little greasy, a little awkward. it's not always enjoyable, but whatever, you're still watching it. I mean, made field goals, missed field goals, 3-yard games, big hits, elite defense. It's wild, man. It's wild. But they're getting it done. They're doing just enough to at least stay relevant, and that's what they did yesterday. And obviously, I think if you want to start positively, this game starts on the defensive side of the ball, right? I mean, you have an offense right now for the Saints that has failed to score double digits in the first half for 8 games in a row now. But you have a defense that has still allowed you to be in this playoff conversation because they've been great. And a lot of the rise here in the second half, boys, has been Cam Jordan. Put some respect in that man's name. Remember, we were, rightfully so, right? We just judge you by what you do in the game. The actual results, stats make sense. But he was struggling at the beginning of the year. He was getting blanked quite a bit. And now you look up, Jake, all of a sudden, my man's got 11 on the year. 3 in this game, double digits once again for Cam Jordan. And I mean, what, is this year 11 for Cam at this point? I believe somewhere around there. I mean, you can speak to that. What's it like being in that game that long and then and still turning out double-digit seasons like this?
That's impressive. Shoot, I played barely half that. I played 6, and there's no shot that I could even imagine reinventing yourself, because that's what he's had to do.
Yeah.
He's had to kind of reinvent some of the things that he's done. Like, he had Hendrickson on the other side, and you'd have Davenport come in and out, but teams started to treat him a little differently, and he's kind of had to reinvent himself with his moves, and he's always had the motor. The motor's never been a question, but you go out there and you watch him, he's doing some different things. He's using more arm swims and going outside than he used to. I mean, just little bitty things he's had to do to reinvent his pass rush ability, and he's out there and he's, doing things he did even 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, and look, and I do think it's not, I mean, I am highlighting Cam, but the entire defensive line is really solid right now. Like, the power from Marcus Davenport, David Onyemata, Granderson has played well. They are really tough to run on. And I think Cam leads the way, Jamar Davis. And then again, speaking of defensive highlight players, I mean, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, dude. He's just, I never thought that I love how, what's the old, is there an old say? It's like life makes strange bedfellows, right? I never thought that I would like a Florida cornerback or Florida defensive back this much. Normally one of my most hated kind of football archetypes in my personal fandom, and yet I am head over heels in love with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And you see during the Saints losing streak, you're seeing that one of the more key elements in all of it was Chauncey Gardner being out, because ever since he has returned, there's just that different energy, swagger, and just actual playmaking ability, right? Look at the final drive. Panthers with a chance, if they drive and score there to potentially tie it, Gardner comes up with a big sack, and then he gets a pick to end it. I wish after he got the pick that whoever it was wouldn't have tried to pick him up immediately, because he was about to do his little signature sit down and cross the arms. But shout out Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, man. He just continues to get better and better and better, it feels like, every week, every year.
Yeah, he brings the piss and vinegar to the defense. That's just what he does. I mean, he gets everybody to raise their level of play, raise their level of nastiness, and he's got a very unique talent to be able to get inside the offensive players' heads. I mean, everyone that he plays, and there's something to that. And so you add that, and then you add Quan Alexander, who's a key piece of this defense as well, because he's missed some time. When he's in there, he's a difference maker. Yesterday, he was the leading tackler on the team, had 8 tackles, had half a sack, had 2 quarterback hits. And so the Saints defense, now that they're back to pretty much full strength, they can keep them in every single game that they play. The defense is not the issue. The defense has actually raised their level of play. Even when guys have been out, they've raised their level. It's strictly the offense. It is the offense. And the one thing that's a little bit surprising is the fact that they, and I know the offensive line issues, but they haven't been effective running the football in a long time.
No, and I do feel like a lot of that does go with Ramchick, who's always been like an elite run blocker out there, and Armstead as well. Losing with those guys. We should say shout out to former OTB intern Will Clapp, getting the start at center, holding it down for Eric McCoy, right? I mean, those are some big shoes to fill, and Clapper continues to just have a great blue-collar NFL career where you just can't keep that man off of rosters, and when you have to rely on him, he continues to do what needs to be done. So those are some of the good parts. Look, I think if you're a Carolina fan, man, Sam Darnold is awful. And this has been such an awful year for you in terms of fan experience. You make the switch from Teddy. Remember, the Panthers offense last year, Jake, they were elite. Remember, we talked about it coming into this year, the weapons that they had.
2,000-yard receivers.
Yeah, exactly, right? Robbie Anderson and
Moore.
Yes, and Moore. DJ Moore. And then I know that Christian McCaffrey is really what makes everything work, and he's been out, so I do understand that. But all the resources, I just can't get over the resources you gave up to go from Bridgewater to Darnold. Like,
started out good.
Is it maybe the worst move, like transaction or front office wise of the last year in the NFL? Like, it's obviously you can't really answer that question off the top of your head, but like nothing is jumping to mind immediately. So Sam Darnold's awful. The Saints awful. The Saints offense is awful as well. It's
not as awful as Carolina's.
No, it's not as bad as Carolina's. Even because, like, wasn't Carolina's scoring defense, I think, actually second in the NFL coming in this game? So it's a good defense, like, no doubt. But it's okay. So if we want to ask questions that maybe we would need a little time to think about, is the Saints offense, with all the O-line out, what's going on at the quarterback position, the lack of weapons, are they the least threatening offensive personnel in the entire NFL? I think the Jaguars are maybe a step above them.
The Jaguars, no.
Okay, so
the
take the Jags out of it then.
Are awful.
Take the Jags out of it because, like
Trevor
you said,
Lawrence hadn't done anything.
Well, and like you said, coming in today, they are the argument for relegation. Well, there should be relegation.
There should be relegation in the NFL strictly because of the Jaguars.
Okay, so if we take the Jags out of it, though, I mean, I guess the Giants probably.
Yeah.
But
Mike Glennon, long neck.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll get into Mike Glennon.
I mean, what?
We'll get into Mike Glennon.
The Saints' offense is not great, but there's some other offenses.
You're not putting him in the bottom five?
No, there's some bad offenses, too. I mean, you still got Alvin Kamara. Like, Taysom can still do some nice things.
Okay.
Your offensive line, like, even when it's banged up, just even a couple of those pieces, no, I can't go that far.
Okay.
I mean, you got Mark Ingram as your 2.
I was getting a little too deep into my maybe I was getting a little too deep.
Like right now, at the top of my head, Jets, Texans, Jaguars, Lions, Giants, Panthers.
Don't sleep on the Mills Mafia now, bro. Come on now. I don't know about the Texans. Well,
name like 3 players on that offense.
Arian Foster.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. 10 years ago. Oh, not 10, 5
Andre
years
Johnson.
Ago. Yeah.
He's still right for sure.
Like you got Brandon Cooks, you got your boy Davis Mills, and you got
anybody else. David Culley's head coach. They're bringing him back. So I think I've exhausted my text. Here's the deal, though. I guess maybe why I'm being so hyperbolic with Saints offense is because like Taysom Hill can't throw, dude. Yeah, I mean you know what I'm saying? Like the accuracy. I mean even on. And I'm not just talking about balls where it's obvious, like not something like the miscommunication where it looked like Deontay Harris broke in, he threw it out, right, and it looks horrible. I'm talking about just like maybe it's like a simple slant or something along those lines. It's like the ball is never where it needs to be to let the receiver run.
Yeah.
They're always having to like hitch or stop or dig, and it's just like, man, Sean Payton is really trying to squeeze some blood from the stones here, getting some production out of this offense.
Yeah, because if you look at the stat line just off yesterday's game, you probably don't know the full story of some of the throws that he missed yesterday.
I actually don't even know the stat line. What's it?
He was 17 of 28 for 222 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I mean that sounds
no interception.
I know. Really good.
And he was the leading rusher too on the team. He had 12 attempts, which I actually love him having 12 attempts.
Yes.
So the stat line's not really as bad as you probably thought watching the game.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
But I understand what you're saying because there's like a slant that you might connect for 11 yards, but you're like, man, if he throws that where he's supposed to, that's like a 23-yard gain.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the way we're watching Taysom right now.
Look, the bottom line right now for the Saints, man, like forget Super Bowl, forget all that crap. It's been a fun year. It's been a rough year at times, fun year at times. But the bottom line, what could be better than going to Atlanta and beating the Falcons to end the year, and then make the playoffs and just try to ruin somebody's good time, whoever that is. I don't care who it is. Like Tampa Bay, that'd be awesome. Like whoever the case may be. We'll look at the playoff picture a bit later on. But like you still have some very tangible goals, some very fun moments that could be had left in this year, and it starts in Atlanta next week.
And look, you talked about what that game was going to mean and what it was probably going to come down to, and obviously you need some help, but going on the road, playing the Falcons with a chance to make the postseason.
Yeah. One spot left in the NFC. All right, coming up next, talk a little Denbrock, little LSU as well. As a roster came out, and the roster is like objectively hilarious in terms of what it has and what it doesn't have. So keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Haldane here. Let's talk convenience from your local grocer.
Mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. The place is going to be convenient for you during that inconvenient time, and it's even more convenient now. Now you have 8 convenient locations with the Bruley location just opening up. So go check them out online, patientplusuc.com, because remember, they are your place for your sniffles, for your colds, for your stitches, for your COVID tests. They have all that available over at Patient Plus. For more information, visit them at patientplusuc.com. Get in and get better.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the.
It's the Monday evening edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're live at Rouge Creole in Perkins Row, recapping all of the college and NFL action from the weekend on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bring it.
What? On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go psycho when my new joint hit. Just can't sit, gotta get jiggy with it. That's it, now honey, honey, come ride. DKNY, all up in my eyes. You got a Prada bag with a lot of stuff in it.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Oh, no. Something's in my throat. I don't know what to do. I was telling Jake about Retro Bowl. If you've never heard of Retro Bowl, shout out my boy Willie Blackwell. As him and the fam were in town, we had entirely too many people in my home. We do not have a large home to have another family of 4 along with a couple other, with a friend and my little brother all sleeping there, but we made it happen. Slept on my couch Thursday, Friday, Saturday night.
You slept on your couch?
Yeah.
So wait, you would think like if you had more people, that's when you would certainly sleep in your bed.
Well, yeah, but it's a long story. It's just whatever, you know. I know me and my little bro are gonna want to stay up. So why not give up my spot to someone else? So then we can watch like movies and stuff. And you know, we kind of been couch sleeping together our entire lives, right? In terms of spending the night and whatnot. So it was it was a lot of fun. But within it, Will told me about this game, Retro Bowl, dude, on the iPhone, and it is. I've been playing obsessively for like 3 days straight now. It is the best football video game on the market right now. It is better than Madden. And it's a little chiptune 8-bit iPhone game. Check it out, Jake. You're going to come in here tomorrow. You'll be like, oh, my God, dude, look at my players. Look at this guy.
I ain't going to be here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're going to be at the Texas Bowl. Yeah. You're going to rock the cowboy hat like Dre Jenkins did? Yeah. He's looking good with it.
Yeah, he looks good in, cowboy hats.
Have you ever gone the cowboy hat route?
No.
Really?
No.
Never?
You got to find one big enough to fit my head.
That's fair.
That's pretty tough to do.
I went through a huge cowboy stage.
My dad's cowboy hat wearer.
Yeah.
Like if my dad gets dressed up, it's cowboy hat.
It's like anything else, fashion-wise, right? It's going to expose who's confident in it and not, right? Because it is enough of a statement where you have to wear it with supreme confidence and ease. If you feel uncomfortable, everybody will think you look stupid in the hat. So that's the name of the game. Mike Denbrock hired as LSU offensive coordinator. So my weirdest reaction to this is that, like, the new OC should be big news, and this does almost nothing for me. Just in terms of, like, things to talk about today, interesting conversation. And it's not even to say that Denbrock's not good, because Denbrock has been really good. I mean, at Cincinnati, he's been great. Look at what Desmond Ridder has done since he's been there. I think he was, like, 2-time conference offensive player of the year. Yep, that's right. In 4 years, he's over 12,000 yards, 116 touchdowns. Like, hell yeah, that's what you want out of your starting quarterback. It's just that in an age where everybody's always looking for, the sexy young hires and everything, this is the opposite of that. Though, how about this, Jake? How about this? Maybe we've learned a little bit that sometimes going back to the tried and true ain't so bad, right? Like we talked about, bet you a lot of people wish that this year's team still had Steve Ensminger as the OC, right? And I get some very Slinger vibes from Denbrock when you kind of look at the length and breadth of their careers.
Yeah, I'm never a big fan of, we got to go get this guy. We got to go get the young guy. We got to get the veteran guy. We got to just go get who you think's the best for the job. And again, like we said in headlines, this is somebody that Brian Kelly's very familiar with. He's been multiple places with him. Also kind of overlapped with Scott Wilbert as well. He was the offensive line coach at Washington from 05 to 08, and Scott was the AD. He was acting AD, I believe, in 07, and then, of course, the official AD in 2008. So they actually probably know each other somewhat as well, because Scott knows the assistant coaches. Scott's obviously, very involved in the football program. So there's some overlap there as well. And look, this is somebody that he believes in. He believes in him because he's had him in multiple spots. And when he had a chance to bring him back as his offensive coordinator, that's what he went and he did that. So I'm kind of like you. It's like, okay, like it's a safe one. That's not to say that it's a bad one.
Yes, it is safe.
But it is very safe.
I mean, they go all the way back to G Valley State, 7 years together at Grand Valley State. So this is a partner. This is like somebody that you two came up in the game together, and here you sit, and you now this is your biggest opportunity yet, right? As big as Notre Dame is, like we talked about, Kelly choosing to leave in the way that he did is a direct commentary on what he feels the ceiling there is versus the ceiling here. Leaving the 11-1 team, joining the 6-6-1, all the things that we've talked about before. And now Denbrock is saying, you know what, I'm going to join you for this final push. And hey, look, Denbrock, welcome to the game. You already got a little revenge that you're looking for now after Alabama completely shut them down the other day. I mean, you knew it. The announcers are talking about that. Like, we're talking to Fickle, and he's like, I'm worried about how we're going to do on the line. Imagine that. Alabama's line just kicked Cincinnati's line's ass on both sides of the ball.
When I talked to Luke Fickle, he was certainly aware of the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
he was not trying to make it something it was. I mean, he said the right things, and he's like, look, I got a damn good football team, but that's the standard over there. They've been doing it for a long time, and there's a reason why they are who they are. And, I mean, he understood it. And, again, I am not – there were some very weird takes this weekend about Cincinnati being in the CFP. I'm not one of those people. In this year, they deserve to be in there. Like you said, the semifinal games kind of is what it is. I mean, 21 points is the average in that game anyways. Michigan got done the same way, and Michigan was the 2 seed. Cincinnati definitely had some Jimmies and Joes. If they played that game 10 times, they lose it 10 times. That's just what that is. But, that's a good football team that just got beat by a better team.
Yeah, and so now Denbrock will join Kelly, and they will both try to sit here and see if they can catch it. I mean, Nick Saban feels like he's playing Retro Bowl at this point. He feels like he's playing a video game, making 9 of 13 or 9 of 13. Not 9 of 12, right?
I think it said 9 of 13.
Jeez,
either way.
Oh, my God, bro. That's awful. It's absolutely awful. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 1 here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to GEAUXroof.com, GoRoof.com, 927-8300, 927-8300 is the number. Get that free professional estimate. That's right, a free professional estimate when you call Go Roof. Very easy to set up a time. Somebody comes out, and then you learn exactly what's going on. That's important because then you can make a fully informed decision about what you want to do next. Maybe it's work you can hold off on, Jake. Maybe there's nothing wrong at all. Maybe it's a big issue that needs to be solved immediately. Go Roof will let you know. And then Life Price Lifespan Insured, and they offer a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. Okay, so they stand by their work, and you have peace of mind that you're going to get a beautiful new roof every shingle time. So call call 927-8300 or go to GEAUXroof.com. When they answer the phone, go ahead and hit them with the roof saw.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
T-Bob.
Yo, Jake here from Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines. fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning.
Hey, it's Musso. On behalf of everyone on the AFR team, we wish you a happy and healthy new year. We're back on Monday, and so is Matt, recapping everything he missed while he was on vacation. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
As Fire Scoden points out in the chat, I don't know about that Jamar Chase guy, bro. Can't see the ball. No stripes and whatnot. Can't hang on to it.
I mean,
What's going on?
Do you remember people calling him a bust after the third preseason game?
Yeah.
I think they played against the Bucks, and he dropped like 2 passes or something. And
there were bad moments. There were bad reports coming out of practice. There were bad moments in the preseason game. It's just a sign of...
That's why you don't call people a bust in the preseason. Though.
Yes.
The preseason is the preseason.
Yes.
When you work on things.
When you learn how to see the ball without the stripes. And he learned. And I guess, I guess that's all it took. I want to say, does he... It's actually one of those news cycles days where I've read so many, like, Jamar Chase broke this record that I can't.
He broke the rookie record.
He did. Okay,
yeah.
Right? So he
broke Jets. It was Jets had the record.
God, 2019 LSU. What the hell, dude? Unreal. So yeah, so he broke the rookie single season record. And for whatever this is worth, it's not worth anything, but it does mean something to me. He broke it without the 17th game, which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
So like, okay, you know what? He did it the hard way. And he broke the single game record as well. And it's kind of funny, man. I don't think that year off of football really took anything away from Jamar Chase. I'm going to say that man handled his business. And now when you, I'm still just struck by, you look at Burrow.
By the way, he caught this pass. I know our radio listeners can't see, but look at the Chiefs player.
Wow.
Has his hand on the tip of the football.
Is that when he mossed the guy?
And Jamar still caught that pass. Well, he did it like 4 times.
Well, he had a lot of mosses. On the last drive, not even the 3rd and 26 moss, there was one before where he just jumped over and, just took it off there. The speed, the power, you're seeing everything that you were promised with Jamar Chase.
To me, all of the things that he has, but his ball skills are elite and like in a rare class. When the ball's in the air, he can be going against the best corner in the NFL. It doesn't matter. Like, he's got the advantage. And I've never really seen a receiver be able to attack the football like he does.
Yeah.
And certainly, we could sit here, we could go back and we could pull up some names, but like it's the routes, it's the speed, it's all that. But, other people have that too. What separates him is if there's a ball in the air, it's either he catches it or nobody catches it.
Yeah, and I get it's like, that's why we call it being mossed, right? Like Randy Moss used to do that. But Randy Moss is also, I feel like, significantly taller.
Yeah.
Right? Like Randy Moss is probably like 6'5", 6'4", somewhere around there. What's Jamar? 6'1"? 6 foot?
Yeah, he's definitely not in the same range as Randy Moss.
It's interesting, though, because while he is shorter, he's so strong. And remember, that's what was blowing people away in combine preparation and everything else, is that He's just like a dense ball of muscle. And again, Danny, the highlight we need to show, because we're going to talk Bengals again, the highlight we have to show is the first touchdown. It is one of the best plays of the NFL season, in my opinion, and it doesn't even look like it makes sense to your eyes with the odd cut, with the acceleration. He does this odd cut back, and then he runs away from a secondary full of NFL players. Oh, and there's something else not going to get any love, but Joe Burrow juked Tyrann Mathieu pretty bad at one point in this game, which is pretty wild. The Honey Badger on a free blitz couldn't get Burrow down because Burrow, speaking of like pocket presence and whatnot, here it is. Here's the chase play. Oh, no, that's not it.
That's just another touchdown.
That's another one. I know there's a lot of great plays to choose from, so I get it. Weekend winners coming up next. It'll be a lot of fun.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to AccuTenBR.com. When you go to AccuTenBR.com, you will see there is a new website. They didn't really need one, but they have one because they're always staying on top of every single thing that they do. And if you've got a question, if you have a concern, probably not going to have a concern unless it's with your old equipment someone else put in. You can have a chat right there on the site. You can set up an email. You can set up a text, set up a call, whatever it might be. They're always there ready to help you. And if you're part of that Star membership like T-Bob and I are, they're going to continue to remind you, hey, it's time for that service. They're going to send you a text message. They're not going to just keep calling and leaving you voicemails. They're going to make sure that they contact you the way that you want to be contacted, which for me is text message.
Well, it ends up saving you a ton of money because all those checkups and whatnot are all free, right? And so what do you avoid, Jake? You avoid any very expensive, catastrophic problems down the road. And you take control of your comfort zone. And look, obviously, having your AC and heating working when it's 80 one day, 30 the next, you need it. AccuTempBR.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Over the years, I've tried a lot of great whiskeys, but one that
and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Thanks, you're ready. Yardbirds up. Veggies in the window.
Barbecue guys, born to grill.
Pops, how many steaks you want?
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. But then you came along.
There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials.
Baton Rouge.
Good morning and Happy New Year, everybody. It's 8 a.m. on Monday, January 3rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see clear skies with a high of 49. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Remember to follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. You can also check us out on YourView. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Hour number 2 here on Off the Bench. T-Bob, Jake, Martin, Danny, 2022. We're feeling good. Second episode of Book of Boba Fett, just a couple days away. Still keep thinking about Retro Bowl.
How was the first episode?
I loved it. I preface it though with like, I am obviously not an objective sounding board for any of this, right? I'm so deep in the woods. It would have taken something really aggressive for me to probably not be like, I don't like, because I'm thinking about like every minute of it and going deep and trying to break it down on the For Mandalore podcast, which if you're into it, you should check out. It's super fun. It's over an hour on each episode. This first episode was a banger. I mean, the For Mandalore episode. Go listen to it, whatever. So that's coming out in a couple days. Right now, though, yes, that Dustin Blanchard. Yes, I think the touchdown where Jamar Chase caught the short hitch, juked it and just ran away was insanely good. We'll get you that highlight in a little bit. Right now, though, let's go ahead and kick off hour 2 on Monday like we do every week with some weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
Yeah, I imagine that's what Burrow probably said to the huddle before that final drive when they needed to go win the AFC North, and they went and done it. So my first weekend winner, it starts right there. My man Smokin' Joe, the 9-inch king, doing it for all of the tiny hand boys out there. 30 of 39, 446 through the air, 4 touchdowns. On the year now has over 4,600 yards, 36 scores. Broke all the Bengals franchise records again in 16 games, not 17. He had a 3rd and 27 moment, Jake, kind of like 3rd and 17,
yeah,
which is winning the game. He had a cigar moment after the game. I mean, it is crazy. Reality warps around this man. You snap the Chiefs' 8-game winning streak. You win the division, first playoff berth since 2015. Which again is kind of weird to me. I guess time goes so fast because I feel like it was just a couple years ago, the Bengals made it like 7 or 8 years in a row, but it's now been.
You forgot Hugh Jackson.
6 years. Yeah, I know, all of that. But, man, shout out Smokin' Joe, the tiny hand king, weekend winner.
All right, I know you're going to go back to the same game after I get done, but I want to talk about another player in that game, and he also played for LSU, but not Jamar Chase, because I know you got that one coming up, and that's Darrell Williams.
Yes.
Darrell Williams, who had 14 carries, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns yesterday, added another 3 catches, has turned himself into a very good NFL football player, somebody that the Chiefs can count on. And Clyde was banged up, and he went in there yesterday and had another really good day. He is actually like someone that, I mean, I can continue seeing him play for 6 more years and get a decade out of the NFL because of the wear and tear that he didn't have in college. And in a backfield that had Leonard Fournette, Darius Guice, Darrell Williams was always kind of just the forgotten guy. And he had a lot of moments at LSU that I think a lot of us forget about. But he is a very solid NFL player, one that I don't know if a casual LSU fan would know that he plays for Kansas City or even remember him playing for LSU. I mean, he is someone that was just, behind 2 All-Americans, and then now he's a guy in the NFL that a team that potentially can make the Super Bowl again counts on every single week.
Glue guy, right? I mean, like if you are if you are trying to win a Super Bowl, you need those type of characters who know their role. They exceed within that role, and they don't need a ton of touches or attention or whatever. They're just going to do their job, and some days they'll be called on more so than others. I love the gritty they did after he scored there because it looked like it's like fourth quarter. It looked like he was like tired and like didn't really, but he's like, okay, I go to LSU. I got to do the gritty. Score. So look, he just kind of hits it. He's like, all right, I'm going back to the sideline. Oh, second quarter, excuse me, not fourth.
LSU players, not even counting like Joe's touchdown passes, but LSU players scored 5 touchdowns in this game yesterday, and what could have been the game of the year in the NFL.
Yeah, and 3 of them were by our guy, Jamar Chase. Chase is on the case. 11 touchdowns, 266 yards, 11 catches, 266, 3 touchdowns. Broach Ochocinco's single game record of 260. And what I love too, Jake, did it situationally. These are not like first quarter padded stats, right? It was throughout the game, but when you needed him most, the 3rd and 27, all the plays on the final drive, like he continued to get it done. The trust that Burrow shows in him to throw some of those balls in the high pressure situation, that's big balls in and of itself. But how about this? While we're being hyperbolic, what could this duo do over their career, potentially, if they stay healthy and stay together? And if you then combine that with what they did in college, because it's hard to go from college to NFL and 2 guys stay together like that. You could maybe be looking at one of, if not the greatest sports tag teams in football history, maybe even like just sports history.
Yeah, you just obviously you never know with free agency and where a guy wants to go, and does he want to stay in Cincinnati? But if they're able to stay together, I would assume that conversation with Joe probably starts this offseason, right? Going into year number 3, got a 5-year contract. That probably starts this offseason. Obviously, Jamar will be a little bit delayed since he's only a rookie, but that's obviously if they stay together. With Jamar's 21.
Oh, wait, Jamar Chase is 21
Jamar Chase
years
is
old?
21 years old.
Jeez.
It's crazy. I mean, Joe's 25, and they're only 1 draft class apart. He's 21 years old.
And then Mixon's 25. I think T. Higgins is like 23.
And Boyd can't be that much older.
Jamar Chase is 21.
Yeah.
That man can barely legally drink, and he just did that on a football field. What do you got?
All right, weekend loser for me, the side judge in the Tennessee-Purdue bowl game. And I know this has been a lot of controversy. That man did not blow that whistle because if you go back and you watch the tape, he is tapping his hip to signify that he thought the runner's hip was down. And you can't convince me otherwise.
Oh, okay, that's a key detail. I didn't notice.
Yeah, and I had a referee on Twitter who's like, well, actually, he was hitting his communication button. You don't slap your communication button. And he was looking at the head referee talking to him the entire time. They were a couple of feet away from each other. I don't think you need the communication button at that point, and he was hitting his hip. He thought his hip was down. It wasn't. And then he says, oh, it's forward progress. Oh, it's easy cop-out. That man scored that touchdown. And look, I'm not sitting here trying to, Tennessee, I don't care if the SEC wins every bowl game, loses every bowl game outside of LSU. Y'all know my stance on that. That man scored that touchdown. And I was ready for that game to continue to be drunk and go into 8 overtimes. And they took that from all of us.
I think I might be in the minority here. I could see the argument that his forward progress would stop. And I know the whistle. I know the whistle doesn't time up with it, but it does kind of remind me of the LSU A&M game where the whistle was also late, but on the kick return where the guy said that no forward. I'd already. It just had from.
Well, I was from here to you from the referee and that play, and he had definitely stopped that play. But that one, think about how much longer that one was in the LSU A&M compared to like this one. Like the forward progress never stopped. Now, I also could say like they didn't call my man pulling him into the end zone, but they didn't throw that flag. He used the excuse of forward progress being stopped.
I thought on the replay it looks like it had stopped for long enough. But
what are you watching?
I don't know. I don't feel too strong.
What realm are you watching that think forward progress stopped?
He wasn't moving.
Yes, he was.
And then he started moving again.
Oh my gosh, you've been hanging out with somebody too long. Look, yeah, where's he stop moving?
Right
Look,
here.
no, he's not. Look at his legs. You see his feet?
He's driving his feet. He's driving his feet the whole time.
Okay, look, guys, I said I was in the minority. Look, I was just giving you my take on it. I was like, okay,
All right, see
I
if
can
we can
actually
see
understand that.
from this angle the referee hitting his hip when he comes in. You might not be able to see it because he
No,
does
it's not going to be
No.
this angle.
Look, right there. Look. He's telling you somebody's hip was down.
Oh, okay. That was a little less of a slap than you sold
'Cause
me,
of
though,
that
maybe
angle.
at the beginning. That looked like it could have been a communication bud, but he also could have been talking to the head ref.
He's
and
looking
saying his
at
hip
him
was
right
down.
there. See?
Yeah,
He's tapping it.
It looks like he said his hip was down. Either way, rough beat for Tennessee nonetheless, right?
That's a rough
It's
beat.
not a call where I'm going to say, like, absolute, like, whatever, dude.
No, he
You could have
shouldn't.
called that a touchdown and nobody would have ever said you were wrong. And it was an excellent effort to even get that ball in. Boys, you got any weekend winners back there behind the glass?
Yeah, so LSU defeated Kansas State 4-3 in the best of 7 Rodeo Bowl at NRG Arena. Before the game, the events were calf roping, calf ribbon pull, and calf branding with chalk. Also had a relay. And according to Wilson Alexander, the winner of this event wins the Texas Bowl 70% of the time. So good news if you're an LSU fan, I guess.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. The one thing you don't want to face Kansas State in is meat judging. They're like apparently a meat judging dynasty. Like I don't know exactly how that competition works, but judging like different cuts and whatnot, that's where Kansas State is truly elite. Apparently not rodeo. Danny, what you got?
My weekend winner goes at the Cam Jordan levels.
Yes.
In this place. Just had an absolutely electric game. 8 total tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, and shout out.
Look, and we were on him early on, man. I'm not going to name any names in the chat, but it's a very hardcore Saints fans are even questioning the disappearance of Cam Jordan for much of this year. In the second half of the season, he's been dominant, and that was a fantastic celebration right there. Okay, weekend winner. I thought it was a great weekend for really good comebacks, right? You had Tampa Bay, Cincinnati in the NFL, Oklahoma State, Ohio State, a lot of exciting comebacks all over the place. Of course, Jackson Smith and Jigba deserves to be in there. 15 catches, 347 yards. I think Dave Aranda deserves to be a weekend winner.
Absolutely.
I mean, granted, I hate that game kind of got ruined before it could really begin. I mean, you just can't take Matt Corral off of Ole Miss and expect for Ole Miss to still be good or the same. But what it means is that Dave Aranda, what's the final record? 11-2, 12-2 for Baylor?
It would have been 12-2.
12-2?
They
Sugar
played
Bowl
in
champs?
the Big 12 championship, right?
Year number 2? Beat an Oklahoma State team that went and won the Fiesta Bowl themselves? Like, Dave Aranda, what an incredible year for him and the Baylor Bears. I had Cam Jordan on this list. Shout out to you, Danny. 11 sacks in the field now. And here is my big weekend loser. That would be FedEx Field is one of them. Is there any better? And Danny, look, I got 2 videos linked there. But is there any better commentary on Dan Snyder's ownership than the state of his stadium himself? Do y'all remember earlier this year when patrons were?
It was like Joe Dirt. I got the poo on me. Yeah.
Patrons were treated to the excellent experience of having literal poo water.
Yeah.
Literal sewage bust out of a burst pipe and start to pour onto them in their seats. You can see this here. And then did y'all see Jalen Hurts leaving the field on Sunday? So imagine that. You're sitting in an NFL game and all of a sudden sewage water starts pouring over you. That's awful. Well, Jalen Hurts is leaving at the field after a huge win. Eagles fans are so pumped. They want to see him. The stadium railing literally breaks. Just snaps, and all these Eagles fans fall like 8 to 10 feet. Now, ends up being a funny situation. Everybody's okay, and then everybody immediately gets up and is like taking selfies with Hurts. Like, yeah, go Eagles. So, like, I love it. I feel like Charlie Kelly, like, if Green Man was right there, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And shout out to Jalen Hurts for handling it really cool as well. But, like, dude, FedEx Field is a freaking dump.
Yeah.
The Washington football team's a freaking dump. Like, I know I've been banging this drum for years. Force out Dan Snyder. It's time for the Jeff Bezos era of the Washington football team to begin. Just give Bezos the football team. It'll be much better for everybody involved, much better for the league. Just a pathetic look from FedEx Field.
Yeah, it's a franchise that actually makes a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
So, like, the situation, there's no point. I just really don't even understand it. But real quick, I want to get one last weekend winner, and that is the LSU women's hoops team. We talked about them in headlines, but they are atop the SEC right now. They're 14-1, 3 wins against ranked opponents. They're the only team that's undefeated in the SEC outside of South Carolina against ranked opponents, but South Carolina did lose against an unranked Missouri this last weekend. So LSU right now, one of only a couple of teams. There's only 3 teams, actually, sorry. LSU, Tennessee, and Missouri right now, the only teams that have undefeated records in conference play already on this young season.
Damn. Jake, you're my next weekend loser.
Okay.
You and all your other NFL veteran brethren who never made as much money as Mike Glennon. Because Mike
I had
Glennon,
no idea where this was
Mike
going.
Glennon is awful.
Yeah, he's bad.
Mike Glennon, Joe Judge, and New York Football Giants and Dave Gettleman, and just the entire thing of my other loser. Mike Glennon's stat line from Sunday: 4 of 11, 24 yards, 2 interceptions, 4 fumbles. The Giants had a minus 10 net yards passing against the Bears for the game. Minus 10 yards passing. It's the lowest total by any team since the 98 Chargers when Ryan Leaf went 1 of 15. Unbelievable. After the game, Joe Judge was talking about how the franchise is still going in the right direction, saying they have a much better culture now. The results are there, but the culture is.
So he's played in 40 career games with 31 starts and made over $30 million. I played in over 70 NFL games and barely made a million in the season where I hit all my incentives.
Here's his 17 dropbacks from the game. Strip sack, interception, sack, 4-yard pass, incomplete, 12-yard pass, strip sack, incomplete, 12-yard pass, 13-yard scramble, pass for 4-yard loss, incomplete, sack, strip sack, incomplete, interception. That's awful. That's a weekend loser.
Yeah, Gumby Nick.
Long neck for sure. When we get back, more off the bench, and then look, we're going to talk a little Kansas State here coming up with Tim Fitzgerald of 247. So keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. I'll say it one more time. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Head to the website today and start to look at some of the incredible deals they can offer you. It's up there on the flippers, right? You can kind of start your journey there. If you want to go also chat with people live, set up service appointments, whatever you need. Or if you want, if you're more of a face-to-face person, you can just go in and see them over there off of Airline Highway. It's a great experience. Again, maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed. You don't really know where to start. We'll start with All-Star Toyota, and they will find the answer for you and your family.
And they found it for me because after the show, T, I am swinging by All-Star Toyota, going to go pick up a 4Runner to take over to Houston.
Hell yeah.
For the bowl game. Aaron and the crew took care of me, reached out to them, and it's just going to make my drive to Houston that much better, and they can do that for you. Rental process, it's incredibly easy. It's on the homepage of All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rafino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back North Airway off of Airline Highway.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
It's the Monday evening edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're live at Rouge Creole in Perkins Row, recapping all of the college and NFL action from the weekend on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Anthony Archfield in the chat says, weekend winner me, I binged the first season of Mandalorian. I love it. Bro, if you love season 1, get ready for season 2. Lars Corval saying, game day coverage from OTB tomorrow. I can't wait. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's always interesting to get a shoe on actual game day. I'm trying to figure out if we whiskey and wine, so I'll have that news for you by the end of the hour. So we'll see. But Jake's gonna be out tomorrow. Jake is going to Houston today. Gonna give us some boots on the ground reporting live from H-Town. As you getting excited, dude? A little Texas Bowl action, a little January 4th.
I'll be completely transparent here. The one thing I actually am excited about, because look, it is what it is. It's 6-6 versus 7-5. It's an LSU game, so obviously I'm going to pay close attention to it. Hell, I'll be at the game, but I do kind of want to see how LSU handles the roster that they put out. Right?
Oh yeah,
was it like 40-something scholarship players? I thought it was at least going to be 50. So, the quarterback uncertainties, the opt-outs, the guys declaring early. You've got 3 corners total on the depth chart. So, like, that part of it, although it could be very scary, some of it's like, okay, you're going to see who, is going to potentially help you next year. And if you're able to go out there, because you still got guys. It's not like you don't have Jimmys and Joes out there. You still have some. You just don't have as many. It's going to be intriguing to see how this plays out. It had Cam Wire at left tackle. I thought Cam was done for the season, so that's at least a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, it does have him as the one. They just wanted to go the true NFL game day active roster. Just keep it in the 40s. Who needs 50? About to win this thing anyway. Do you take – so a lot of people have highlighted the quarterback portion of this depth chart, which has Garrett Nussmeier as a starter, Tavion Falk, the walk-on freshman, as the backup. Do you take anything from that in terms of is Nuss going to play, and is Falk actually the backup here, or some of this John J. Kirkland stuff that we've maybe
John J. certainly has a package. There's without question, he's got a package of plays, and we'll probably see him in the game. If Garrett's listed as a starter, that either tells me that, one, maybe the waiver process is something they feel good about, or two, they're like, damn it, we don't care, he's playing. Or he's like, hey, I'm going to play.
Now, do you think it could just be as simple as though they just kind of put him on there and they're
could be
for
K-State.
If it doesn't,
it could be just window dressing for Kansas State. It could be like, hey, no, you got to get ready for Nussmeier, and then he obviously doesn't play in the game. So It was something to see some of the spaces in that depth chart.
Yeah, and you put you mentioned the other position, which is just kind of wild to even think about at that point, and that is cornerback, right? You have Darren Evans, the Nichols transfer. You have Lloyd Cole, and is Demarius McGee the only other cornerback on this team right now?
That's what it looks like.
mean,
Lloyd Cole is someone that has earned a scholarship for multiple years. He's been on scholarship 2 years. He's been a special, actually, might be 3, because in 19 he was on all the special teams as well. I mean, he's been here for a long time, but he's always been a special teams guy.
Well, you can get your shot.
You
in this ball game.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of people did point out Pig Cage is starting. Remember who started at nickel in the Alabama game? Pig Cage. He started on the road against Alabama. Now, he didn't play a ton of snaps in that game, but he did start at nickel in that contest, so it's not going to be his first action either.
Yeah, shout out Pig beating out Sage Ryan for that starting job, although I expect that you're going to see both. Sage, definitely somebody you probably want to keep an eye on. Just what a wild, what a kind of a perfectly representative nugget of what this year has been in a lot of the ways for LSU, that the cornerback position, a position in which when the year started, it was pretty much widely accepted as objective fact that LSU had the best cornerback tandem in the entire country, right? Between Eli Ricks and Derek Sinley Jr. Like, nobody had two true cover, shutdown man corners like that. And, well, now one is you never really saw him, and now he's going to the NFL, and the other one is literally playing for Alabama now. So, whatever. Good riddance, but that's going to be certainly a position of interest coming up tomorrow.
Ooh, I mean, remember the Fiesta Bowl against UCF, and we were kind of joking like they were one injury away from Gordy having to play corner in that game. This might be worse than that. I mean, you had Manny Netherly playing corner at the end of that game, and I actually think he got hurt in the contest. I mean, you were duct tape and super glued to the extreme, and this feels even worse than that.
Yeah, so Mason Smith, it looks like you'll get another chance to see him. He's listed as a one on the depth chart, and there was also some talk that he's healthy after suffering an injury that I think caused him to miss like the last 4. So I'm excited to see Smith, Jaquelin Roy, Ojulari Fanua, all those guys.
The depth chart really doesn't look on defense much different than it did in Tuscaloosa, outside of the linebacker position. But the D-line, a lot of the same guys. Now you got your opt-outs, and we've talked about those opt-outs. But it really is amazing when you look at how LSU was able to finish the season defensively with who they had available.
What about running back? Running back's interesting to me because obviously Tyron Davis-Price, did it happen over the weekend?
Yes.
It did, right?
Yeah,
okay.
but it's something we've known for months, like plural. Like he's always kind of laid it out there that he was going to go to the NFL.
Yeah,
his situation, and that's what he wanted to do, and he had the year where he'll be a very draftable guy, in my opinion. You got Corey Kiner, you got Josh Williams, played a lot of football. Josh Williams was in on the last play against Texas A&M, and actually, when you go back and you watch that play, the offensive line had an MA, and he tried to cover up for it as best he could, and probably got the ball off out of Max's hands because of it. So you've got some guys that have certainly had some carries there.
Now, so you mentioned Corey Kiner, and the only reason to bring up TDP is that so he's opting out of the bowl game. Good on him. Go get ready for the NFL, man. I hope it works out for you for sure. TDP, I think, really gained a lot of heart share with LSU fans this season. But then it's great. Right now, you get a chance to look at the young backs. But what's up with Goodwin? And what am I? Did I miss something in the news
I don't know
cycle?
any. I don't.
He's not on the depth chart, is why I'm saying that. Y'all, it says Corey Kiner, Josh Williams, and Corin Norman.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know any inside information. I just know. Look, it's bowl time, and this is differently. Normal bowl time, if you miss it, it's like, oh, it's academics. Like whatever. The hours didn't pass, whatever, but you never know in this day and age of college football. So I don't want to put anybody like, oh, it's academics, and that person be someone who does really well in the classroom and they just decided something else or they're injured, whatever. I don't know that. Obviously, that will probably come out. A lot of times, though, during bowl season, T-Bob, and you and I have been through this with our teammates, you don't pass enough hours, and maybe you got to pass a certain amount in a certain amount of time. You don't do it in the bowl games when you get got.
Well, that could make sense then in terms of timing, lineup, and everything. But I mean, look, if I'm LSU, especially depending on what Nussmeier's availability is, one way to winning this game would be kind of like really leaning into Corey Kiner and just trying to feed him and see what happens. I mean, you're still going to have your entire starting offensive line from the year, which is some nice consistency in a year that just hasn't featured a lot of it. So, yeah, I would love to see what Kiner could do if you were really feeding him. I'm also looking to see who's going to step up wide receiver, and I really hope that Nuss gets to play, right? I mean, just from an interest standpoint, if it's not Nuss, wow, there it goes. If it's not Nuss, then it's probably someone that's not really going to factor into the future too much at that position, right?
Exactly. But you do, I'm glad you point out the receivers. You still have a really talented 4 deep there. When you look at Jure and Brian Thomas and Jack Besh and Malik Neighbors, like you've got guys to throw the football too. So the depth chart is as thin as it possibly can be, and you never want a situation where that's what you're left with at a place like LSU. And roster management obviously is something this new staff has to do a better job of. But you still do have enough players to go out there and compete against Kansas State.
The final game of what has to be one of the oddest eras, certainly in LSU football history, but even almost probably anywhere. If you just look at the O era and the incredible meteoric rise over the first 3 into the fiery crash of the last 2, and now it all ends in the Texas Bowl against Kansas State. How wonderfully weird and random and appropriate for how the last couple of years has gone. And then after that, the Kelly era begins.
But a big shout out to LSU for not canceling this game, for going to play.
Oh, yeah.
Numbers are low. Don't give a damn. It's in Houston. LSU playing in Houston means something, and we're going to go play it. Is it basically a glorified exhibition? It is. But you didn't tuck your tail and make up excuses why you couldn't play in this game and use a lot of different reasons. You just found a way to play in the game.
Yeah, you didn't go Texas 8 and forfeit, but I bet you too, Sankey in the league was a little bit like, hey, y'all, look, you skipped your bowl game last year. Like, come on. You need to go play too. So shout out to him, man. Tomorrow night, going to be a ton of fun. All right, when we get back, let's talk about tomorrow night. We got Kansas State 247 reporter Tim Fitzgerald coming on. Give us a little scouting report on the Wildcats. A couple names to look for and everything. Give you some root and interest. Headed tomorrow night. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to DonaldsonGlassandBody.com, DonaldsonGlassandBody.com, DGBAuto.com works as well, DGBAuto.com. Remember, if you get into an accident, the insurance company cannot tell you where to go, and the police cannot tell you who gets to tow. You listen to OTB, so you say, you know what, I want D, G, and B. And they'll come out anywhere, man, anywhere in the listening area. If you need collision repair, free pickup and drop-off delivery on said collision repair. So, I trust him. You should too. Go to Donaldson Glass and Body today.
Yeah, you should trust him with anything that has to do with your vehicle. Something as small as an oil change or something big like T-Bob's talking with collision repair and everything in between. I mean, this is a family-owned business, been doing it for a long time. There's a lot of pride in what they do over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Again, you can check them out online, DonaldsonvilleGlassandBody.com. You can check them out at DGBAuto.com. You're going to get the best customer service, transparency throughout the entire process. One last time, DGBAuto.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted.
Hey, it's Musso. On behalf of everyone on the AFR team, we wish you a happy and healthy new year. We're back on Monday, and so is Matt, recapping everything he missed while he was on vacation. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench here on this January 3rd, 2022, first show of 2022. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Certainly did over the weekend. Right now, it is time to preview tomorrow's game a little bit. We talked about LSU, and, well, it's kind of interesting, right? A lot of fans will feel like they may not know too many of the LSU guys that you may see play tomorrow. And you're probably not going to know too many of the Kansas State guys either, because this just does not happen often. So we've brought in a ringer, Tim Fitzgerald at Life of Fitz on Twitter, of GoPowerCat.com. That's my 247 Sports. Tim, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for waking up with us.
This is the glory of being in the media. I'm in a mediocre hotel in Houston doing radio.
I mean, that's the dream, man. That's that blue-collar work right there, that blue-collar sports entertainment work. Tim, I'm going to start very broad. Again, I think that our two schools have played each other. Is it once otherwise in school history? I think it is, right?
I don't know.
Maybe a second one mixed in there somewhere. But, look, the point is that I'm sure Kansas State has not seen a lot of LSU this year. Why would you, right? 6-6, last to West. LSU's not seen a lot of Kansas State. What can you kind of give us a little elevator pitch for who this Kansas State team has been this year?
Well, it's been a little bit up and down. You know, K-State kind of held court the entire season. And what I mean by that is they beat all the teams they should have beaten and lost to the best teams in the Big 12, being Oklahoma, Baylor, Oklahoma State. And early in the season when K-State played Iowa State, they were playing pretty good football. That was until they lost to Texas at the end of the year. That was the real disappointment of this year. We're in the third year at Kansas State of the rebuild by Chris Kleiman. And what I mean by rebuild is he took over a decent program with Bill Snyder, but there wasn't much depth. Recruiting had kind of dropped off in coaches' later years, and Coach Kleiman's been trying to rebuild that. Well, in the current environment of football, as LSU fans know well, you can get decimated pretty easily by the transfer portal or kids just quitting, or and so many circumstances can go on. But they've done a good job in year 3 of kind of rebuilding their locker room, using the portal to their advantage, and really finding a good mix of guys as they try to climb the ladder back towards the top of the Big 12. And prior to this season, people may not realize this, but prior to this season, if you look at the new Big 12, the one that will be void of Oklahoma and Texas, K-State had the best overall winning record, along with Oklahoma State, in the remaining schools. So K-State's had some success, kind of been under the radar for a while, but it's a decent team. However, they will have Skylar Thompson back at quarterback, and when they played their best this year nationally, Skylar's been on the field, but he tore a pectoralis muscle last year in the second game, and that was a massive recovery if you're familiar with what that takes. And then has had a couple injuries along the way this season, but he's healthy and ready to go, along with his little running back, Deuce Vaughn, and a pretty decent defense that matured as the season went on.
Now, you can't help but to think about Darren Sproles, one of my former teammates, when you see Deuce Vaughn out there. 5'6", 172 for Deuce Vaughn, but my goodness, he runs tough. 1,200 yards on the year, Tim. 15 touchdowns. This is somebody that LSU fans will know, and they'll know him pretty soon in the game.
Right. And, best thing, just like Darren, he's just a great young man. He's just a fantastic guy. And I say this in all seriousness, Deuce doesn't have the size of Darren. That's honestly,
right.
As you know, playing with him, he was strong as anything.
Oh, absolutely.
He was absolutely amazing. He was so powerful. Deuce is not quite as thick as Darren was, but there are some great similarities between these two dudes. And we took a photo of Deuce this year in an earlier game. He was running so low as he passed behind his offensive line and through a hole that his headgear was actually at the butt of his offensive lineman. I've never seen a guy run so low. His knees are literally inches off the ground sometimes. And he's a blast to watch. He really does disappear behind that offensive line. But they use him a lot in the passing game, too. You'll see that Skylar Thompson loves him coming out of the backfield as a receiver. He's got great hands. There's one thing Deuce will do. He'll give you everything he's got, and he's awfully fun to watch.
And it's interesting, I think, Tim, when you look at like both of our fan bases, maybe where the current news cycle is at. And in one case with LSU fans, it's this weird limbo period, right? This weird in-between period where there's already these huge impending changes. The Brian Kelly era is about to begin as soon as this game is over. And so I'm unsure about, like, it feels like LSU's playing with a bit of house money where if they lose, it's like, okay, well, you know what? The new era begins. Does it mean more to Kansas State, given what would a win mean to Kansas State, given that this is year 3 of climbing and trying to figure out, okay, are we moving in the right direction?
Yeah, that's a great point. And as I mentioned on our pregame podcast that released the Go Powercast this morning, it just seems like a huge gulf, a canyon between being 8-5 and 7-6.
Yes.
And it just seems like you've accomplished so much more at 8 wins, even if it's short of where you want to be eventually. So this would be a nice step. And on top of that, Chris, comes from the FCS level from North Dakota State, where he won 4 national championships. So 2 years ago, when they went to the Liberty Bowl, that was his first bowl game ever, his first prep for a bowl. So this would be a nice step to get him his first bowl victory and kind of settle into maybe a run of bowl games. But this is a big game for K-State because they kind of need to continue to get traction as a program. And they were picked for 7th in the conference, so they've kind of already overachieved. exceeded the expectations of a lot of preseason voters.
All right, now last one here, and I know this doesn't have to do with this bowl game, more looking at next year. And when you look at the resume for this year, I mean, you mentioned it, like you won the games you were supposed to, and the games that you lost against the top teams, you were in every one of those games. Like, you didn't get blown out. So knowing you have that, and then you get Adrian Martinez in his 72nd season of eligibility coming over from Nebraska, he's transferring to K-State. I mean, you get a very veteran quarterback, all jokes aside. So the momentum for K-State heading into next season is pretty good.
Yeah, it is. And you get back, so many key elements. Most of that offensive line, Deuce Vaughn, of course. Defensively, you get your two primary players, your big play guys, and Felix and Duke Uzama, who in one game had 6 sacks this year, until the NCAA ruled 2 of them weren't sacks because he forced fumbles that reached the line of scrimmage.
Oh.
So he did his job too well. Felix, what are you doing causing fumbles? Well, just sack the guy. He could come around the corner. This is an old reference, but he reminds me a lot of Derek Thomas. He comes around the corner and attacks the ball as well as the quarterback. And Daniel Green, who also is nicknamed Deuce, and also wears 22 like Deuce Vaughn. Not confusing at all. And Daniel Green at linebacker. He's just played fantastic all season long. And those guys will be back. The core of this defense will be back. So it's kind of looking up right now.
There you go. Tim Fitzgerald getting you ready for tomorrow's game. Can't wait. It's going down in the Texas Bowl. Life of Fitz on Twitter. Again, GoPowerCat.com. But G-O, not G-E-A-U-X. So the battle for the correct way to spell go goes down tomorrow. And the Battle of Purple. That's right, dude. Well, Tim, thank you so much, man. You have an excellent day.
Hey, guys, I came south for some weather. Will you fix this crap? What is going on?
I don't know.
I woke up, it's 30 degrees.
And I don't know about over there, but like 2 days ago it was like 80, 75.
That's 30 here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not right. I'm not happy with you Southern folks.
Tim, thank you so much, man. You have a good one.
Thank you, boys.
Thanks, Tim.
I guess Kansas City is where would you consider Kansas City to be?
Kansas State is in Manhattan.
Oh, Kansas. That's right. It's not in Kansas City. I think for some reason I was thinking it was.
Yeah, it's in Little Manhattan.
Yeah, Little Apple.
I bet it's
do we think of that as Midwest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My in-laws lived in the state of Kansas. It's Midwest.
Yeah, that makes sense. But then what
Midwest.
if you're like in Missouri, right? That's in the SEC. Do we consider that the South?
No.
Is Mizzou the Midwest?
No, there's no way. Yeah, Mizzou's got to be Midwest.
Well, then why does Missouri get to be in the SEC?
Because of the St. Louis TV market.
Okay.
That's why they.
Okay, that
I mean,
makes
sense. this Midwest. So you get,
I guess Kentucky and Tennessee is the cutoff.
Yeah, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, South. Virginia, we could have a conversation, for sure. West Virginia, that's your people. What's that considered?
I mean, if it's not geographically south, it's very southern feeling and culture. I mean, I feel very confident in saying that. All right, when we get back here, closing up hour number 2 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
At All Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. The place is going to be convenient for you during that inconvenient time, and it's even more convenient now. Now you have 8 convenient locations, with the Bruley location just opening up. So go check them out online, patientplusuc.com, because remember, they are your place for your sniffles, for your colds, for your stitches, for your COVID test. They have all that available over at Patient Plus. For more information, visit them at patientplusuc.com. Get in and get better.
With a fresh cracked egg, cheese, and your choice of bacon or sausage. Did we mention the part where Wendy's biscuits are hot and buttery?
Wendy's breakfast biscuits, hot and buttery.
So don't take a chance with those other guys. Bet on a better breakfast with Wendy's bacon or sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Welcome to Allstate, where your savings are always on the right track. And where we still love when those auto rates drop. Because when they do, that's some really good energy. Love when the extra savings hit. Don't you? Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
It's the Monday evening edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're live at Rouge Creole in Perkins Row, recapping all of the college and NFL action from the weekend on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Danny, what is it? What do you think? Would you go out with me?
Holy
Rocking this
Twilight.
hairstyle.
What are you doing?
I'm doing the full Cabrera.
That is.
Going full Ryan Cabrera here.
Yeah.
Sup, ladies? Like lettuce? Got some of it for you right here. Danny, what do you think about putting this on the story? Is anybody sliding in?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Bunch chicks, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God! Just looking on the TV copy, it's worse than it is.
Danny did say that. Isn't that the key? You just do stories of you like out like eating food
No.
or something.
Yeah. No.
my
Yes.
God.
Yes, he did. He said, I can't say it because he said it off air.
Oh man,
I got you.
What, Danny? You think if I give away your playbook, you're not willing to share the wealth?
No,
with the
that's not my
pros?
playbook. You said
With
it
the
wrong.
homies? Oh, okay. Well then, what is it?
I'm not giving it out.
Oh wow. So you do. You're not looking out for your fellow man. You're trying to keep all to yourself. That's cool, dude. That's cool, man. I get it. I'll just have to keep posting pictures of my meals which hasn't worked out for me yet, but maybe it will one day.
I think T just he wants one person to slide in.
Just one.
He just wants just so he can be like.
No, the only person that
in.
slid in was that dude that was just talking about how juicy my booty was and how my wife probably spanks it every night.
That was a little questionable. How aggressive that person was.
Just one female. Just one female give me the validation of sliding in there one day. I don't know. Danny, you're in charge of my social media, and yet I haven't had a single DM slide. What's going on?
But he's got a lot, so he's actually probably doing it the right way.
Yeah, but he's not doing mine the right way at this point. So I don't know. We're going to have a serious talk after the show. Danny. When we get back, let's kick off hour number 3. A lot of NFL talk coming up in hour 3. Syndrome, yeah, from Incredible.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
We know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rafino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
To finally put in the parts you've always dreamed about. And at Front to Back Boat Service, they do it all. So find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service, or just go in and see them at 221 North Airway Drive. Front to Back Boat Service. They do it all.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. If you missed the show, you can always check it out on demand at 1045ESPN.com, the 1045 ESPN app, or the After Further Review YouTube channel. AFR On Demand, brought to you by Breck Golf. Book your tee time today at golf.breck.org.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 104.5 WNXX Jackson, 104.9 KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Monday, January 3rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see clear skies with a high of 49. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or you can watch us live on YouTube for new content posted every day. OTB, OT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. Starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Oh, man. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm in a weird short in my headphones where I keep getting 2 ears versus 1 ear, and now there it goes again. Welcome back to OTB, hour number 3. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your 2022. As I said, I had quite the fun weekend. Obviously, we had a little 3-dayer, which was nice, right? Way too many people in my home, for sure, which is where I did that thing where, like, you try to do a clean right before everybody gets there, so you convince them that you have your life together. You finish the clean at the last minute, and then immediately when you've got like 5 kids running around the house, it's just an absolute disaster, and you're just doing it all over again. But it ended up being super fun, man. Like I said, the neighborhood block party was a great time. Bottles of champagne and whiskey being passed around after the burning of the Christmas trees at midnight. That was super fun. And then to recover on January 1st, I think me and we just basically locked the kids in a playroom, and me and some of the friends, we sat there. And have you heard of Love on the Spectrum on Netflix?
No, I haven't. I'm sitting there thinking about you, Mike, leeching the kids in the playroom.
Yeah. Well, they had a concussion. So, bright lights and all that. You don't want them to, you don't want them to feel, but you don't want them to get hurt even more. Yeah. So, no, but we, one of the greatest, in my experience, things in life, Jake, is after a hard partying day, and I mean, a very nostalgic thing, right? Because I hadn't done this in years and years, but just getting hooked on a trash TV show and just sitting there and laying on the couch and just watching a mindless TV show for hours. And I think we ended up watching about 6 hours of Love on the Spectrum.
What's Love on the Spectrum?
It's
a reality show?
Yeah, it's a reality show on Netflix, and it is about well, not like a reality competition show or anything. No, it's incredibly heartwarming. I mean, it is tear central. It's like crying once an episode type stuff. It's about autistic people trying to date and find love, and obviously there's a spectrum to it, and so there's different levels of everything. But it's just it's great. I mean, it's really great. Like from an entertainment standpoint, from a heartwarming standpoint, a great way to kick off the new year with some good vibes.
Yeah,
for sure.
I kicked off the new year, no pun intended, with Cobra Kai.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
a new
that's
season
cool too.
of Cobra Kai.
Hell yeah.
Johnny Lawrence, sign me up for it. All the nostalgia.
You grind it all the way through it?
All the way.
How'd it go?
Mowed through all 10.
Did you make it at midnight? On New Year's?
Oh, no.
No.
God, no.
Damn. Didn't even. So you don't feel like
This
feel
is good. Cobra Kai like that.
I feel oddly guilty if I don't make it to midnight.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like it's like the one
when I wake
day of
up,
the year
it's
when
going to
you
be
have
this.
to.
It's going to be January 1st when I wake up too.
Depressingly true, but I don't know. It's something about I guess feeling the switch. We had a little fun dinner too, where one of our friends Sarah put together a bunch of like New Year's Eve trivia and games and whatnot, of which my wife somehow managed to win, despite not knowing what was going on almost the majority of the time. Very frustrating when you lose somebody like that. What about you, boys? How'd you take in the new year, huh?
Pretty low key. Saw some friends. Went downtown New Orleans, which is always fun that time of year.
Okay, what'd you do in downtown? What were we talking?
Near the casino. Ended up at Harris
Okay.
because, of course.
Oh, okay.
Went out to Barcadia. It was really crowded, which I didn't love, but it was still fun. Saw some people I hadn't seen in a while.
Right on, Daniel.
Yeah, I was in NOLA with the fam. Didn't really party as hard as Mario, but more of a chill.
Nothing wrong with a good
New
low-key family New Year's. That is actually what mine always is, and unfortunately, it's what I was going to be forced into again this year, and everybody in my family got COVID. All siblings had it at the same time, despite the fact they live in 3 different states, California, St. Louis, and New Orleans, and everybody got it, except for me. Let's go, dude. But it meant I got to have a party New Year's, which was a lot of fun. You know who didn't have too much fun yesterday was Antonio Brown. Now, look, let's preface this all because, okay, it is very funny in a lot of ways outside looking in, and I do want to get into it and make jokes about it and really talk about it. There's kind of something that's maybe a little upsetting that I do think that this is someone who's potentially dealing with some mental health issues maybe, but Antonio Brown, if you just think about it on balance now, and we'll get into the full story of what happened yesterday because Rappaport broke it down this morning. It's different than what a lot of people think, but Antonio Brown is probably the wildest athlete of our generation. I mean, if you consider all the things that he's done that we've never seen anybody else do, this man secretly recorded John Gruden and made like a fully edited, beautiful YouTube video out of it. He recorded himself. Remember when he got cut and he was out of Oakland? He was like freaking out. He was so happy. The music videos of the past, and now in the latest, he straight up gets cut in the middle of the game and then takes his jersey off in the middle of the game, takes his pads off, his shirt off, waves to the fan, and is just out off of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What, a week removed from going over 100 yards?
Yeah, having a big game.
Yeah. Like 10 catches for $100 after he got back from the suspension over using a fake Vax card. Okay, another kind of wild Antonio Brown sort of situation there. I mean, so he takes his pads off, throws them off. He leaves the game. He immediately apparently asked the state troopers to drive him to the airport. They told him no because they were like, well, you're shirtless, and I don't think you have your wallet on you in your football pants. I guess he ended up getting a ride there. But the thing I immediately thought of, dude, he straight up did the half-baked thing. He quit like my guy in half-baked, right? I mean, he was like, F you. He probably looked at Tom. You're cool. I think him and Tom are still cool. F all y'all. I'm out of here. And then my man's bounced. But Jake, it is interesting in that he the story is not, it did not come out of nowhere, right? Like they wanted him to go in the game and he was saying that he was hurt.
Yeah, that's the report that we saw. I think you sent it to the group, T, and they said that, we want you to go into the game. He had missed Thursday and Friday's practice. So he didn't practice. I think he had a very limited day, the walkthrough portion on Saturday. And they asked him to go in the game. After he played in the game, he's like, look, my ankle is just, it's not right. And kind of gave him the ultimatum of what was going to happen. Now, there's conflicting reports all over the place, and who knows if we'll ever know exactly what happened. But it's a situation that I've never seen. I mean, somebody leave a game, basically get cut on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Have to find his way back home when you're, thousands of miles away from where you currently live in Tampa. And somebody that had, like you mentioned, T, he had a giant week the week before. This is somebody the Buccaneers were going to need in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, with the injury to Godwin, you were going to need AB to be able to play for you. So there's a lot going on. I know a lot of people have brought up mental health issues with Antonio Brown, and that's something that obviously, I take very serious. So it's a bizarre all around, and I truly don't know if we'll know exactly how it went down.
Well, and to be fair, I actually really love what Brady had to say after the game, because I saw a lot of people like, if I was Tom Brady, I'd be so angry. You put this man up, you his team, and that's how he leaves the team. And all Brady said after the game was he just called for empathy and support, which I thought was pretty admirable, and maybe shows part of the leader that Tom Brady is. Who picks up Antonio Brown? If this was Retro Bowl, he would have the toxic mood, which generally teams kind of shy away from. But, I mean, the Rams, because would you kick the? I mean, bro, the Saints. Would you kick the tires?
Didn't the Saints?
I think they already. I think early in the year they had like shut that door. They had maybe said there was no way. Is that right?
Yeah, they brought him in for a workout. They were like, be low key, and he was the opposite of low key. He showed up with like an entourage and a whole camera crew. He was hanging out with Zion, and I don't know if the workout even actually happened, but yeah, they weren't going to sign him after that.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, they could use him, except that our guy Marquez Callaway is right on the edge of the 750 over/under we set for him at the beginning of the year. So do you really need Antonio Brown? Who knows, man? Yeah, but for those who don't know, we have an in-house bet here where we said that Marquez would go over 750, and what's he at right now?
Like
690,
695 or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I mean, bro, pretty good on us boys in terms of setting the lines. They're pretty Vegas-y of us going into one game with about 50-something yards needed. But
he's at 698, by the way.
698. There you go. He would be significantly better than anything the Saints have. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not worth it for you to go after him. Do you think will somebody sign him for a playoff run?
No, I don't. No.
You know what the saddest part is for him personally is that
is he done for? You think he's done like forever? Is this
I don't know.
Right, wrong, or indifferent? Right, no matter what comes out, you know how coaches sometimes can be. Do we think he plays football again?
I would still say yeah.
Yeah,
because he can play and he's still really good. But maybe this is a bridge too far. Again, if not even like kind of Brady can keep the situation under control, then really who can? Maybe the answer is no one. But still, I mean, talent rules at the end of the day in the NFL, and so I think he probably still gets another opportunity. The saddest part for him, man, is he was just apparently a few plays away from hitting some big incentive bonus that would have given him $1 million. And that's where the original story had got was a bit warped from what we're hearing now, where the original story is that he wanted to play.
Yeah.
And they
that's
were
what I'm
holding
saying.
him
There's so
out.
many conflicting reports of what actually happened on the sideline.
Yeah.
If it is true that he missed practice all week and he didn't feel like he was 100% and they tried to force him to go in the game,
how do you feel about that as a player?
Well, that's an NFLPA. You would be able to file a grievance with that. And there's a lot of veteran players on that team. So you almost feel like if that did in fact happen and those players did hear that will come out. Because players 95% of the time are always going to take up for the other players. And if that is something that happened, you have a true grievance that you can file with the NFLPA. So I guess we'll have to wait to kind of see where that lands. But, you know, the actual just football portion of this, as I mentioned, though, like he was going to be a key part of their playoff run. Remember, they got a lot of injuries going on right now. Like Mike Evans played yesterday, but he's certainly not 100%. Gronk, I don't think ever is going to be 100%. Again, just with the way that he's played his entire career. Leonard's on the IR, Godwin's on the IR. So, you know, you expect to get Leonard potentially back, but still, like he was a weapon for them on the field as well.
Yeah, so who knows? I mean, the Bucs' chances definitely take a hit here. The Bucs' form hasn't been the best as of late. I mean, they needed a pretty impressive comeback to beat the Jets yesterday. Now, then again, it's the NFL, and they did come back and beat the Jets. It just feels like, I mean, it's Green Bay or bust in the NFC, right, this year? I mean, granted,
I would count the Rams or Cardinals out.
So I guess I'm a little. What did the Cardinals do yesterday?
Remember, the Cardinals were driving to beat Green Bay and threw an interception in the end zone.
Yeah, earlier in the year. I remember that. And it was just a bad miscommunication.
It was like kind of in the middle of the year. I mean, it wasn't,
Yeah, it was a bad miscommunication where A.J. Green just wasn't ready for it. Kyler was mad.
They beat Dallas yesterday, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, they did. So they bounced back.
25-22,
they had a little gap there where they were maybe struggling. Okay, so that's a huge win for them. Odell and company, even though you could argue that they should have been better, the Rams should have been against Baltimore. You're right. I mean, Odell
on
kind
the
of
NFL, it could be 2-0. You don't care about.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying without Lamar Jackson. But yeah, margin of victory doesn't matter. Whatever, get the dub. They did. And Odell had his moment. Or I mean, right? The 4th and 5 catch was awesome to extend that final drive. And the touchdown catch where he twists around and barely gets the ball over the top of the pylon. Okay, so those are your big three. Is Tampa then in the big three for the NFC favorite?
I mean, it's Tom Brady, so of course. But when you look at the injuries they've got, that is alarming. Some of the like in a 3-week span, you lose Antonio Brown, you lose Chris Godwin. Leonard is on the IR. I know he's supposed to come back, but you just never know when you're on that kind of layoff, and the way that he was playing. I mean, he was playing the best of his career. So I'm never going to totally count Brady out, but I would put him at 4th right now in the NFC.
And then on the other side of the equation, I want to be funny, right? We get to the playoffs and like Brady beats Rodgers again. That would be a huge legacy hit for Rodgers. He's already had a couple of those, especially last year at the hands of Brady. But like this year, Green Bay looks like they've been much better, much more consistent. On the AFC side of the equation, certainly going into Sunday, everybody
AFC's wide open.
Okay, so you even going into Sunday, you didn't feel that the Chiefs had a the Chiefs were maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Not like. Did you didn't feel like they had really separated from the pack in terms of being a 1 seed?
I felt like they were the team, but it was not like a leap away from the rest of the teams. I felt like Tennessee was still right there, which, by the way, Tennessee,
they're the 1 seed right now.
Not getting any love because once Derrick Henry was out, it's like, okay, well, they're done. Well, they found a way.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
They have absolutely found a way. I mean, it's been a long time since Derrick Henry's been in a Titans uniform, and he went out early in the season.
And to help me out here, I want to say I saw a headline a couple of weeks ago that Derrick Henry could potentially return for the playoffs. There's only one bye week nowadays in the age of 7 playoff spots. The Titans are the 1 seed right now. Finishing as a 1 seed would be massive for them. Get that extra week for Derrick Henry to potentially come back, not have to play in that wild card round. So, like, man, I didn't even realize just how much things broke Tennessee's way on Sunday.
Yeah, so, of course, they'll be there. Kansas City, after what we saw from Cincinnati, I think you have to put them, just offensively alone, you have to put them in that category. When you look at the AFC, I mean, there's a lot of teams right now that if you felt like they made a run, you'd be like, okay, like if the Colts make a run. I know they lost to the Raiders yesterday, and if the Colts would have gotten to the postseason and gotten to the tournament, you would have felt good with the way they were playing. Now it's like, okay, the Chargers are starting to finally – they didn't Bush League yesterday, by the way. Like what the Chargers and Herbert and company get into the postseason. So – the AFC is certainly more exciting to me than the NFC because there's a lot of unknown.
Yeah, so as it stands right now, on the NFC side of the equation, Packers are the 1 seed. They're 13-3, the only team with such a record in the NFL. Then you got Rams, Bucks at 12-4, Cowboys, Cards 11-5. The Eagles have now clinched at 9-7 as they have tiebreakers over the 2 teams in the hunt, which are the Niners and the Saints. The Saints would obviously need to beat Atlanta and Atlanta. Atlanta eliminated, by the way, from postseason contention. And they would need who plays the Niners? The Rams? Rams? Is that right?
Yeah, I play Rams, yeah.
Okay.
In Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken.
And I believe the Rams need that game because otherwise they could potentially lose. Like, this is not a situation where the Rams have anything wrapped up and could be good to go because they're trying to win that division. So, okay, that's very doable, right? You would say that the Rams are the favorite against the Niners, meaning for your New Orleans Saints, of course it does. It all comes down to a game in Atlanta against the Falcons to try to go to the playoffs. Again, unless San Fran controls his own destiny, so we'll have to see. But, man, it's just perfect. And then real quick on the AFC side, Titans 1 seed, Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, Pats. And then there are still 2 playoff berths available right now. Today, it would be Colts and Chargers. Jake, all you got to do, bro, the Hester Bowl next week. All the Bush League. Oh, wait, no, they just played the Raiders. They just play, excuse me. Oh, they play the Raiders next week.
In Vegas.
Oh, that's so good.
You win, you're in.
Both teams.
Yeah.
Both teams currently 9-7 in Vegas. Winning, you're in. That's freaking great.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I had a chance to potentially go to that game. That would have been the thing that got me there was you win and you're in.
Bolt up, baby. Let's go. Do it for Staley.
But look at the AFC, though. I mean, truly, like Buffalo, if they made a run, New England because they're New England, if the Colts make a run, if the Chargers make a run because who they have a quarterback and the offensive weapons they have, and certainly what Cincinnati's been doing, if they make a run, I don't think there's any team that couldn't make the run to get to the AFC Championship game and beyond in the
AFC. Everybody, I just made the mistake of looking at chat, and everybody's just making fun of my syndrome hair. Well, I think it's awesome. Screw all of you. 2023, we're bringing Cabrera back, baby. That's right. Thank you. Yes. Danny, Photoshop a mask on my eyes, and that will be perfect. Incredibles is a really good Pixar movie. I'm probably a bit underrated. Noogie says, what is T-Bob's supervillain name? Tiny Hands Boy. All right, relax, everyone. When we get back.
Oh, Peg Leg Boy.
Apparently, that's what C.D. Deuce told Mike Thomas when he made him so mad on the field a couple years ago. He was calling him Slant Boy. He was like, you want NFL Offensive Player of the Year? You ain't nothing. You just Slant Boy. And then C.D. Deuce whooped that ass. Don't mess with C.D. That's the bottom line. All right, when we get back, more OTB. We still got Aaron Torres coming up, talking a little hooks later in the hour. Off the bench.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Real Cajun, real fast.
Get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hey, it's Musso. On behalf of everyone on the AFR team, we wish you a happy and healthy new year. We're back on Monday, and so is Matt, recapping everything he missed while he was on vacation. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Let's go! Snap your fingers, do your style. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers, do your style. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What up, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. See if I can get this hair even more puffed up. You're probably like, oh, I want to see your ridiculous hair, man, but I'm trying to watch on Cox or Your View or whatever it's called. There's nowhere to be seen. Well, I don't know, man. For whatever reason, Cox decided to stop carrying us in 2022. So, I don't know. You can let them know if you want. Or don't. Don't even worry about that. Just go to youtube.com/1045 ESPN. There it is. My man's Danny probably
down.
Danny probably didn't even know who Ryan Cabrera was when we were referencing Ryan Cabrera's hairstyle. Interesting part about Cabrera's hair to me always is what's going on the sides there. Is he straightening it on the sides?
Oh, there's no doubt.
So
right?
those are sideburns that are grown out?
No, I think it's just
that's
like all of that. Like normally would be slicked back, but yours is shorter on the sides. His is the full length all over.
You just
so
let
he's
everything
able to,
grow out the same length
he's
all
able
the
to
way.
comb this area down with the straightener, I would assume.
Wow, it looks so weird. Like, it just looks so odd to me. It looks like a helmet a little bit.
He's got a brown football helmet on.
Shout out, dude. Looks nothing like that sweet Mandalorian helmet here on the stage. So look, coming up next, we're going to take the Aaron Torres because it's a huge week of hoops, right? Like we spent all day talking football.
Big for LSU.
Yeah, then all day talking football, and tomorrow, well, I'm sure we're going to talk a lot of football as well because like you'll have the bowl game coming up, we just the playoffs and everything. But tomorrow night in the PMAC, LSU, Kentucky, let's freaking ride. LSU looking to bounce back, and they. So Hunt in this first game against Auburn, Jake, he said it's not like I wish you could remember exactly how he phrased it.
He's down the hall. You mean yell at him?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we basically could now. But it was like it was that look. The season is not on the line, but what this is it's a great opportunity. That's essentially what he was saying, and I think that still applies to this Kentucky game for sure. Like, let's not be too hyperbolic about the season being on the line. But I mean, it is. Your margin of error just gets a little bit smaller. And we kept mentioning these 4 games. My goal for these 4 games was to try to go 2-2. If you go 2-2 in these first 4 games, I feel like that's fine. That's exactly what we need. You will still be set up to potentially win the regular season SEC championship when this thing's all said and done. Well, obviously now you got a really huge one against Kentucky you got to try to get done. Oh, and tomorrow, Dale Brown Court, right? I think they're doing the naming of the PMAC court tomorrow, so it'll become Dale Brown Court tomorrow. So you got a little – anytime you're having a celebration like that, you obviously want the game to go well so it can just be remembered fondly by all those involved. So a massive week of hoops coming up between that. And then Thursday in the PMAC, on the women's side of the equation, LSU, South Carolina. Now, unlike the men, they have made the most of every opportunity. They've now beaten 3 ranked teams. You got number 1 South Carolina come to town. And guess what? It's going to be a whiteout game. Encourage you to wear white. Won over 10K in that building. And if you're a first responder or a healthcare worker, you get $1 tickets to the game. So go ahead and take advantage of that deal. That's one of y'all listening.
Yeah, huge week for LSU hoops, men's and women's. You mentioned the Kentucky game. They also get Tennessee 4 days later inside the PMAC. And you mentioned the whiteout as well. Look, I know sometimes when we have these games like this, like the goal game in football at LSU, we don't really participate that
no one ever
well,
does it, dude.
but let's participate well for this game on Thursday. So, man, Kentucky, you got South Carolina, you got Tennessee. You have got a chance to see some really good basketball inside the PMAC. And for the men's team, look, they lost 1 game on the road in one of the tougher environments to play in the country. Don't jump off the ship. This team is still going to have a hell of a run, a hell of a season with an opportunity starting tomorrow against Kentucky. You get another opportunity against a ranked team against Tennessee. The schedule is brutal, but that's part of it. You play in the SEC. You've won the most games the last 3 years. So this basketball team is going to be fine. Don't let one loss define what this season can be.
Yeah, no, it's everything that Wade talked about, right? That foundation remains damn strong and damn solid. And it was interesting that, watching Wade's post-game pressers has become a bit of a fun activity for people this year. And they're watching because mainly it's like they want to see, how's he going to get after the boys today when they were winning all these games, undefeated pre-conference play. A very astute and shrewd route taken by Wade following the loss, right? This is not chop down time. This is time to focus on the positives and kind of build up. Like, I know a lot of people are kind of waiting with anticipation, like, oh, is he going to rip him a new one? What's he going to do? And no, he was like, look, man, no, it's a good foundation. We got to do better. Again, I didn't really hate the looks, like with the 0-16 start, over 16, 11 threes. I didn't. It's still too high of a volume of threes, although, I mean, good luck going in the middle against Kessler, right? But I didn't hate the quality of the looks a lot of times. Like, they were moving the ball and getting good looks. They just got to knock them down, man. And next time those two teams play, if they play again, I'm going to go on a limb and say it probably won't start 18-1. But whatever. Tomorrow's a bit of a golden ticket game, opportunity game to make up for that loss and to get you excited for what comes next. And just get that first conference win under your belt. Let's talk to a guy who knows way more than I do about basketball, and that's our guy Aaron Torres of Fox Sports. Keep it locked right here. He's coming up next on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT.
You go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. Greg says, T-Bob, honestly, WTF is going on with your hair today? Well, I drove in my beautiful Toyota Camry at top speed with my windows down. Not really. It'd be freezing. But the point is I do have a Camry, and it's great. I lease it, which I never thought that I would be leasing a sedan. And then I can even bring the kids in it. Like, I can pick up the kids from school in that thing, Jake. And that's an answer for me and my family. I just had a number that I needed to fill. That's an answer that I would have never fathomed how to find it. And yet I've been incredibly pleased, and it's all thanks to the service and selection of All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, they helped you in buying a car, leasing a car. They're helping me today by renting a vehicle. I told you in hour number 1, I'm renting a car to take over to Houston for the bowl game. Incredibly easy. You go over there, you pick it up, and per day pricing, great pricing, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. You can find it on the homepage.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
It's the Monday evening edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're live at Rouge Creole in Perkins Row, recapping all of the college and NFL action from the weekend on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
No direction, I took a dive and on the way down, I saw you and you saved me from myself. And I won't forget the way you loved me. And on the way down, I almost fell right through. But I held on to you.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Should have pierced my ears, dude. Hey, look, Ryan Cabrera's is a combination of me and you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. You ever rock hoops? Or only studs?
Both.
You ever like a little like dangling cross?
No, I wasn't that cool. That's Barry Bonds.
I think that's the coolest area.
Yeah, that's Barry Bonds. Yeah.
For sure. If I ever had an earring, I would go one ear and it would be a dangling cross.
I think we should make that a bet. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll get to let's get to our guy, but we'll make it a bet.
$30 of Skyline chili going to come in the mail so I can make Danny eat it after his disrespect on Thursday. Let's go to the phone lines. We got our guy Aaron Torres, who we love talking college basketball with from Fox Sports. Aaron, what's up, man? Thanks so much for waking up with us.
So, important question for Jacob. What is cooler, the cross earring or the seashell necklace?
I mean, puka shell was a power move back in the day, Aaron. I mean, if you had a puka shell on, you were getting things done.
But everybody had a puka shell, though. Not that many were rocking the pierced ears.
Yeah, but they had the certain puka shell. They didn't have the full shell like your boy did. But you know what? I will say
there's levels, like Cam Jordan
there's
says.
big levels. I will say Barry Bonds and the cross earrings hard to beat, Aaron. I will admit it.
Yeah, I mean, it also helps when you hit baseballs like 900 feet.
Fair.
It makes it look that much cooler when you're doing the slow trot around the bases. That little cross is dangling, and you just hit a ball to McCovey Cove. But anyway,
didn't Griffey Jr. wear one too?
I was just about to say I feel like Griff did, but I don't know if I'm just because he's also the coolest human being to ever play baseball. So
sure.
I don't know. Do you know, Aaron?
I don't remember. I mean, I do remember, obviously, the backwards hat and all that stuff. So, yeah, no, I mean, it's so funny, you guys. I mean, every, probably once a year, twice a year, some Griffey highlight will come across, social media. And, to explain to the youngins, to the youth of America, how cool and how big and how popular Ken Griffey Jr. was in the early to mid 1990s. It really is literally inconceivable now to think about how famous and popular and beloved a baseball player was 25, 27 years ago, whatever it was. But yeah, we all are about the same age, and there was nobody like Griffey.
Yeah, there's a reason why I played with the Mariners on all of these slugfest games, right? And it wasn't because I liked Edgar Martinez.
Jay Buhner? No, because of Jay.
No, it was not.
Okay.
Tino Martinez? Yeah, we all like Tino, but
or Tino, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Edgar and Tino Martinez. Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Okay, I've always wondered that. I've always wondered, are they two different people? Like my childhood memories, it just always okay. Whatever. Aaron, we're here to talk college hoops. It was a fantastic pre-conference schedule for the Tigers. And then they ran into a buzzsaw, another form of Tiger, one that's 7'1" and Kessler and can do a triple-double with 11 blocks. We're so close to it that we tend to react very emotionally to everything. National perspective, What was your reaction to what you saw in LSU Auburn?
You know, I actually saw mostly positives. I mean, when you fall down 18-1, that sounds stupid. But, you know, one thing that I've noticed, guys, is that I do think that, like, home court advantage this year in college basketball, obviously coming off a COVID year, it's a real thing, right? Purdue, first loss of the season, only loss of the season so far. Their first true road game at Rutgers. Duke, their only true loss of the season, true road game at Ohio State in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. And so I could go on the list. By the way, Kentucky, they look terrible against Notre Dame in their first true road game. Then they steamroll everybody else since. And so I think when you're looking at LSU, I know they played Louisiana Tech on a neutral court, but going to Auburn in late December when you haven't been in that kind of environment against a really good team, by the way, to your point, T-Bob, like they're a really good team. They have NBA players on that roster. I just think it was, I don't want to say it was a really tough ask because everybody's going to have to play tough road games, but to open SEC play against a legitimate, probably top 10 to 12 team in the country, maybe even higher, and to do it on the road, crazy environment, when they know they're good, when they know you're good, was a tough ask. And then, like I said, you get past that first 6, 7, 8 minutes, whatever it was, you're down 18-1, and you play pretty well from there. And so, the great thing, and I know I talked to you guys about this a lot, but this is not college football. I mean, one loss does not ruin your season. One loss is not anything other than put it behind us. Let's learn from it. Let's get better. I know that, the SEC slate is brutal for LSU to start, continuing tomorrow night against Kentucky. But at the same time, I actually saw more positive, especially after about that first 7, 8 minute stretch where they really struggled out of the gate.
All right, so Aaron, if you watch this team and you watch them against Louisiana Tech, you watch them against Auburn, you're starting to kind of find out the identity of this team as we really get into conference play, and that starts again going back against Kentucky, and then you got Tennessee 4 days later. But both of those being inside the PMAC certainly helps you. To your point, what are your observations kind of this team from afar, and what you think they potentially could be?
Well, it speaks to how just college basketball is so quirky because every year now, the world that we live in, rosters are going to flip over, pretty substantially. And most programs, you don't really have an identity. You kind of have to build your identity year in and year out. And so to go back to last year where LSU basically had to outscore everybody with Cam Thomas and Trendon Watford and those guys, to now being one of the best defensive teams in the country, it's interesting to watch. It's fascinating to watch. It just speaks to how weird college basketball is and how tough it is kind of on a year-in, year-out basis for coaches to build these teams in their rosters. And so, obviously, the defense has stood out. I think when you watch this team, I mean, I know Brandon Murray was out the other night. I know Adam Miller's out for the year. But the depth of this team where you can bring a guy like Alex Fudge off the bench that I forget now, but I think was like a top 100 recruit that's probably the 8th guy off the bench. And then obviously the athleticism, the physicality, especially on the wings with Tari Eason and guys like that. That's what stands out to me. But really what stands out is just the defensive effort, defensive energy, and your ability to make otherwise good teams look bad defensively. I think that's what stands out so far. And we'll see if it continues because, as you guys said, obviously Kentucky, Tennessee, and then it doesn't slow down from there.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the beast this year. Now, tell me about Kentucky, Aaron. Give me a little scouting report. I mean, obviously, we all know about Chiboy, and I think I'm pronouncing it correct, maybe not. But, I mean, the 15 and 15 stat line is ridiculous. He's averaging 15 points and 15 boards a game right now. But who are these Kentucky Wildcats this year? Is this like the Kentucky of old? How do they match up with LSU?
Well, they're really different. And it's interesting because, and again, it goes back to COVID, where you look at March of 2020, the world shuts down. And why that's important is because Kentucky is a team in recruiting that really, they come to the party late, right? They kind of wait and sit back and see who emerges, after your junior year going into your senior year, and then they make a move on those guys. And so I bring it up because, March of 2020, the world shuts down. There's no AAU season. And so Calipari basically had no choice but to go to the transfer portal this offseason. And so what you have now is kind of an interesting veteran Kentucky team, a group that there really isn't a guy that stands out as like the definitive alpha NBA, can't miss guy where even in the last couple of years where they haven't been great, I mean, they've had Tyler Hero, they've had P.J. Washington, they've had Tyrese Maxey, and there's guys that pop off the screen. It's like, oh, those are okay. I don't know how they'll be this year, but they're gonna ball out when they get to the NBA. This year, it's a bunch of really good college players, but they play really hard. Last year it was fascinating to watch this team because they were young. They were the traditional freshman-led team, and I think they were hurt as much as anybody in college basketball by not having a normal season, by not having a normal practice schedule, by not being able to do stuff off the court. This year, they're back to kind of doing what they do, but it's just a different group. And Calipari has said this a lot over the course of the last few months, but it's just so different. You don't have to tell guys, where to be, when to be, what time to be there. You can focus on kind of the basketball-related stuff, and I think they're probably a little bit ahead of where they normally are at this time of year just because they have older dudes in the program. Now the question becomes, again, they've only played one true road game. They lost that game at Notre Dame. And the question also becomes, as the schedule gets tougher in SEC play, they don't have those dudes that are just significantly better than everyone else that can take over games late. And so I think that'll be kind of the interesting story, not only with tomorrow night in Baton Rouge, but then also just with the story of the season as a whole. A bunch of really good college players, but the gap in, their elite top 2 or 3 isn't going to be what it has been in years past.
Aaron, let me ask you this last one for me. I want to ask you about the SEC as a conference because I think it started out incredibly strong. You look at teams like we're talking about Kentucky, LSU, Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, a lot of really good basketball teams in the conference this year. What do you think the overall group kind of looks like as you start to look at some of the other conferences?
Well, relative to other conferences, they're right towards the top. And, part of this is that, we do have a sample size of 2 months of out-of-conference play. And so, Alabama beats Gonzaga on a neutral court. Again, Jacob, somehow Gonzaga comes up in our conversations. I don't know how it always happens.
That's
but
right.
Alabama beats Gonzaga. They beat Houston when Houston was at full strength. Tennessee beat Arizona the other week. Kentucky destroyed North Carolina. So you have a sample size that you're beating good teams out of conference. And I think what will be interesting now is what the pecking order becomes once league play starts. As it pertains to LSU, I think they're in that top tier. I think Alabama right now has some stuff to figure out. They beat Tennessee the other night, but it was a game that it was right after that Auburn LSU game where they didn't really play well, and they just kind of figured out a way to win it at the end. Tennessee, on the flip side, lost, but they kind of look good. Kentucky, again, they've looked good the last 2 weeks, but let's see what happens when the schedule gets tougher. Auburn, I wonder what their guards look like, and I do wonder also, what they look like when they go on the road as well. But no, I think that the top of the league is really good. I will say, it's a benefit to a team like LSU. I think the bottom of the league is really bad. I mean, I think there's some leagues that are maybe better top to bottom, 1 through whatever that last team is. There's some real dreck at the bottom of the SEC, led by Tom Crean and the Georgia Bulldogs. But no, I think that top 5, 6, depending on what happens with Alabama, what happens with Arkansas, which is dealing with some injuries right now, I think it's as good as anybody's in college basketball.
Aaron Torres at Aaron_Torres on Twitter. I don't know what's going on with my voice. Fox Sports Radio. Catch him at AaronTorresOnline.com. Aaron, thank you so much, man.
All right. Thank you, fellas. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Aaron.
Sir, you too, waking us up on the West Coast when we get back. Let's close that a little off-bench feed first. Look, maybe you want to do someday. Go get a massage. Okay, go to the relaxation company. Pelican Point in Gonzales. Real easy to get to. Perfect way to kick off the new year. Maybe you want to check out some cryo treatment, something along those lines. TheRelaxationCompany.org. TheRelaxationCompany.org.
OTB, OT.
So you go get a massage, then you go buy some lawn care equipment. That's what I'm into. Okay? You need a little Hustler zero-turn mower, any Hustler equipment, go over to GoTroseOutdoorPower.com. They're Hustlers, Louisiana's #1 Hustler equipment dealer. Okay? But really, what they say, Jake always talks about, is that, look, at GoTros, we make it easy. And they do. It's why you get full access to the parts department, full access to the service department only when you buy from GoTros, and free delivery anywhere in the state. 3-1 great? Don't matter. They got you. Go ahead and GoTroseOutdoorPower.com.
Yeah, they also have 2 locations locally in the Baton Rouge area, one in Baton Rouge, one in Gonzales, and the showroom is set up for success. When you walk in, you will see that bright yellow Hustler equipment. They've got residential, they've got commercial, they have power equipment as well. If you're looking for a generator, pressure washer, whatever you might be looking for from Hustler, they've got it over at GoTros. So we encourage you, check them out online, GoTroseOutdoorPower.com. but certainly check out the 2 locations locally as well. It's Gotro's Outdoor Power. We make it easy.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. The place is going to be convenient for you during that inconvenient time, and it's even more convenient now. Now you have 8 convenient locations, with the Bruley location just opening up. So go check them out online, patientplusuc.com, because remember, they are your place for your sniffles, for your colds, for your stitches, for your COVID test. They have all that available over at Patient Plus. For more information, visit them at patientplusuc.com. Get in and get better.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
Hey, it's Musso. On behalf of everyone on the AFR team, we wish you a happy and healthy new year. We're back on Monday, and so is Matt, recapping everything he missed while he was on vacation. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
You know, real quick, T, before we get to Ask the Bench.
Yo, let's do it now.
A lot of people are asking about Mike Denbrock inside the chat. I did look it up. In his time in Cincinnati, 11 personnel, 71% of the time. 12 personnel is interesting, 25% of the time. 13 and 14 personnel, so a lot of tight ends. 1.6 and 1.4. Interesting he uses 12 personnel that much. Is a tight end coach as well. He's had some All-American tight ends. So certainly with LSU's situation this year at tight end, they're going to have to beef that position up to kind of fit what he wants to do. He runs inside zone 57% of the time. Only runs those gap schemes, power and counter, a total of 14% of the time. So they're an inside zone team. Going to need some more tight ends, certainly in this roster.
They're a hardcore inside zone team, dude. Nearly 60% of the time. It's pretty wild. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet.
New Year's resolutions? Anything?
No.
Oh, wow.
I have one, not just work related, but life related. Hesitate less, like trust your preparation, trust your decisions.
Okay,
don't overthink things. That's my resolution.
All right.
Mine was I don't know. I feel like I'm in a pretty good flow right now. Just kind of keep it going. Just don't fall off the wagon. This is more of mine.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
We did a bucket list thing as well, and my bucket list would to be in the theater. One day I would like to do something in the theater.
Gotcha.
What about you?
Mine is run 3 miles a day, at least 6 times a week. So you get to pick what day you take off.
Yeah.
But so far so good. But we're a couple days in here.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna get in. I'm thinking about doing the old little Peloton Learn to Run course. I got to get some good shoes though.
Danny boy, anything?
Not really.
No. Oh wow.
Oh, big more chicks. Up there.
No, I didn't even say that.
Go to
You said
Miami.
that.
Yeah. Whatever, Danny. I can't wait to see whatever fight.
I mean, yours wasn't much better, T-Bob.
Danny,
to be
okay.
honest.
I didn't even say
That's
my
true.
resolution.
That's true. Glass house isn't right. I might call it the speck in my friend's eye while ignoring the plank in my own. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
OTB, OT.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com or RejuveMeMedical.com. Look for any anti-aging needs that you have. So let's say earlier, like, okay, why would you think I need Rejuve Me? Okay, do you feel like you're not maybe as mentally quick or sharp as you once were? Do you feel like fat is kind of sticking to your body more than it once was? You wake up and you're still tired. You roll into bed at the end of the day, or you want to roll in bed and you can't because you're tired. Well, Rejuve Me can help fight all of this with a plan that is customized to what your body is telling them and what you need.
There's different plans for different people, T-Bob. We say it all the time. There's 4 different people in this room. We'd all probably need a different plan, and you're not going to know what that plan is, that 3-step process, unless you go to RejuveMeMedical.com. In the top right corner of the website, you can get a consultation set up, or you can just do it. Tell them what you've got going on at 225-230-4201.
Hi, this is Blake Hollingsworth, Richards Ford. I'm here with Tiger quarterback Miles Brennan.
What's up, Tiger fans? The next time you're in the market for a new truck or SUV, go see my friends over at Hollingsworth Richards Ford. They will make your buying experience simple and always treat you like family.
So come see us on Florida Boulevard, or you can hit us up